if I would say if his team was one of the top 5 teams in the conference with the numbers he put up, he
Just to
would be
let y'all
all.
know we lying.
Oh snap, we are.
Yes.
Yeah, Terry Rozier's team was like a top 5 team in the conference. With the numbers he put up, he'd probably be an all-star.
With the
Or
numbers Terry Rozier put up, we're now on the Hornets.
yeah, he put up a solid like 19, 20 a game.
I would say All-Star reserve.
I would say
If they was a top 5 seed, I'm talking top 5 in their conference.
I gotta give it to you. I'll give it to you. I can
I can
understand
see him making an All-Star,
18, 20,
like an
19.
All-Star team for sure. I just don't think he would be classified
All-star
as a
caliber
star.
player. So that's what I'm saying. That's where you're getting me because the way just your definition of all-star caliber player.
Yeah,
Right.
because think about it. Fred VanVleet was an
He's
all-star.
an all-star.
He's an
He's
all-star
a
caliber
bona
player.
fide, yeah, bona fide though.
Terry Rozier's not in that same room.
No,
Not to me, at least.
no, not to me.
You sure?
Yes, I'm sure. Yes, I just looked at his
So
now. I'm
Fred
sure.
VanVleet.
Yes,
I'm not
let's
Yeah.
saying Fred VanVleet not better. Yes, he's better. But they sitting in the same room. I feel as though one plays for Toronto, who is just a better team overall from just the other players around him to the coach. And one plays on a young, immature team.
I would take Van Vliet's consistency over Terry's, though. That's the thing for me.
Consistency in what?
Just the way he shoots the ball.
Okay. I'm not saying no. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying Van Vliet is not better. I think everybody in here is gonna go with Van Vliet. I'm just saying they're in the same room.
I can see why you say that, though, for sure.
No, I could definitely see it's definitely an art. Like it's debatable, but I mean, you can debate it. Is what I mean. It's not debatable to me.
And
I just don't.
Terry Rozier can shoot that 3 ball too.
I
He
know
can shoot the
Terry
tray ball for sure.
Rozier. Terry Rozier played for my team. I know.
Over the last over his
I know
last
what
3
Terry was
years.
and why Terry wanted out and why Terry wanted the money and why Terry ended up in Hornets. I know. I understand it.
Over
I'm
his
a fan
last
of Terry's.
over
I'm
his
a fan
last
of
3
Terry.
years, he's been shooting 38.8 from 3 and 7.7 attempts a game.
Yeah, Terry was like that, bro. Coming out party was that Buck series. And
Facts.
then from there, people knew he was for real. You feel me?
Yeah, and he's a really underrated ball handler too.
He is. He's a good point guard, but I think he has two tough situations. He's succeeding in this situation. I'm not team wise, but just how he's gotten better from what his minutes was with Boston to now he's averaging 19, 20. I mean 18, 20, and then 19 the last 3 years. It shows like you can put him on a good team like Boston. If he was on this Boston team, I think he would work perfectly with what he could produce. I understand why we had to let him go, but I never wanted Terry to leave. Scary Terry was supposed to stay in Boston. You feel me? But things work out how they work out. Terry's not a bad player. I will not argue with Terry being a bad player.
Yeah.
Yep, that's true.
Yeah, but I want to get to this damn list.
What list?
So fanside.com. It's the step back. I don't know how to say this guy's name. Neon Calculus. The Neon Calculus. Over on Twitch. Has a top 25 players under 25. But we only get 25 through 11 right now. 10 through
You
6
already know who
come
number
out.
1 is, so
10 through 6 come out tomorrow, and then the rest comes out Friday. So I wanted to go over them starting from 25 and see if you guys agree with it or if you don't agree with it.
Bet.
So Herb Jones is at number 25.
I actually kind of like that.
I was
Depending
gonna say
on
that's
who's
actually not bad. I like the kickoff.
Colin Sexton at number 24.
I would say Curb Jones over him. Don't know why.
He said, "I don't know why."
But I'll just take Herb Jones over him.
I feel
It's
like I
just a
would put
feeling.
Colin. I'd have to hear the spots above Colin just to see, but I think since he got hurt, people kind of seem to
Yeah, he
forget.
got to prove. Yeah, he got to
Yeah,
show me
people
something.
kind of seem to forgot the kind of player he was, and he really was a solid player. So I don't know. I'd have to hear the other names, but right now for me, Colin he might be a little too low.
Like if you ask me who you taking, Colin Sexton or Herb Jones, I'm going Herb Jones. I don't know why I go Herb Jones.
23, Josh Giddey.
That's not bad, only because he's still young.
20. Wow, all right, I need to hear some more.
Yeah, I need to hear the names. You feel me as we get through this list, but 23 is
20,
not bad.
22 is Jared Allen.
Okay.
Okay.
He's over Josh Giddy.
Okay. Okay.
21 is Tyler Hero.
Yeah. Whoa.
Wait a minute.
Whoa.
The man that just got 160.
I better
Yeah, I was gonna
not hear.
say
I better
you
not
got
hear Jordan
160
Poole.
milli.
I better not hear Jordan Poole over this man.
Number 20 is Desmond Baines. Desmond Bain.
Wow, Bane is 20. That's low. I can't lie. That's low. That's very low. Just because he got clipped, bro.
I
Like
love number 18. But
Bane
Desmond
got
Bain over
clipped.
Tyler Hero.
Yeah, I don't know if I can do that. I don't know if I can do that because T Hero's a bucket.
who up in the place to be? Where my list go? All right, so
What you got in your right hand? Wow.
so I don't know if he can hear us. He might still be on the road, but let's continue. Yeah, he looked like he's still on the road. Let's continue. All right. So number 19 is Tyrese Maxey.
Jeez,
Come on.
that's wild. That's wild. I can't even lie.
Put him over Tyler Hero. I'm sorry.
You're not putting
Man,
Tyrese
mute
Maxey
himself.
over Tyler Hero. That's what you said.
Nah, I can't.
All right, I agree. I agree. I just didn't. I thought I just wanted to make sure I heard you. Number 18 is just funny to me. Michael Porter Jr.
What?
And number 18.
Bro, what?
What?
He should have been.
He should have still been number 25?
26. Should have been off this list.
Off this list is kind of crazy.
I don't give a fuck. My neck, my back.
I mean, but what has he done to really prove
he gave you that mad efficient season. You know that.
I mean, I get that.
Season.
Trust me, I get that. But everybody on this list has put together at least, you can say, at least 2 seasons of consistent good ball.
Tyler Hero should be high. I'm sorry.
I feel like T Hero.
I'm a Heat fan, so
considering come on, just considering that the man is a bucket. Like I can't lie. When Tyler Hero's on, he's on.
he just won 6 Man of the Year.
Number 17. Number 17 is Jordan Poole.
I knew it. I knew they was gonna put Jordan Poole over Tyler Hero for some odd reason.
Number 16.
It's because of the season he had.
Barrett.
Tyler Hero had a better. What?
Number 16 is RJ Barrett.
What? There's no way.
I would love to see your face, Mulich, when you're saying that.
I'm sorry, I had to get changed real quick.
He said, "Oh shit, I gotta go to the meeting."
There's no way.
All right, Evan Mobley at 15.
I like Mobley, but with RJ Barrett,
Tyler Halliburton at 14.
That's not bad. I like Tyrese. He's a really good player. I like
my boy Scotty Barnes at 13.
See, I'm not mad at these players. I'm just mad at who was over. Like,
12 is Jaren Jackson Jr. and 11 is Darius Garland.
11 is Darius Garland.
What?
I need to hear 10. just so I
Oh
can.
my God.
It's out tomorrow.
If I hear 10 and say okay, he's over Darius Garland, then I'm cool.
Because we still missing what? Book, Tatum.
Book is still under 25.
That's what I'm asking.
I believe so.
He been in the league for a little bit. Hold on.
Cade.
He
Oh
ain't on that
God.
list. He ain't no top 10. I swear they put him top 10 over Darius Garland.
I'm just
Oh
saying names
God.
under. I don't know
I'm
who could
stuck
be
on this
better.
RJ Barrett. That's wild.
So D Book is 25 on the dot.
He 25 on the dot.
So
Hmm.
yeah, he's probably gonna be like number 2 or 3.
And then JT 25 too, right?
Yeah.
So that's two. Luca.
Lucas won, so that's not
I was gonna
even
say Luka's gonna be
discussion.
1. Josh probably gonna be like 4.
Ja. Trey Young.
They might do something nasty with Trey and Ja. I ain't even gonna lie.
Who else? I mean, that's what, 5 names, 6 names?
I'm trying to think.
I'm trying to think.
Zion, Zion,
I was
Zion,
say yep, Zion.
Zion. There you go. What's up, Clutch? Zion.
Zion. Um, who else? Who old is Brandon Ingram?
That's what I
26,
was thinking the same thing, School. I'm like, Brandon
27,
Ingram?
I believe. But I don't know because Brandon Ingram came in young though, so no, he's 25 on the dot. So
Brandon
he's gonna
Ingram?
be.
Yeah.
He's probably gonna be up there too.
How old is Siakam?
What about Bam?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Ooh, that's a good one too.
yeah. Bam is
Bam's
definitely
25
gonna
on
be
the
in
dot
there.
too.
You said Bam?
He's 25 on the dot.
How about Siakam?
28.
Damn. Who's that?
Yeah, get him out of here.
Jalen Jalen Brown is 25?
Jalen Brown's 26, I think. One of them is older.
Yeah, since I think Jalen Brown is
Jalen
older.
Brown's older, but I don't know how far of age.
It's 1 year. I think it's 1 year. I believe it's 1 year that they're older. But yeah, I mean, it's some names that's left on that list. I mean, overall, it's not a bad list. I like what Scotty Barnes is. I think he's going to be a good talent in the NBA. Good,
Scottie Barnes is gonna be really good, in my opinion.
yeah.
He's gonna be a
Yeah,
really valuable piece for the Raptors.
I definitely want to see where they rank Booker, Luca, and Tatum. Those are the three.
definitely,
Because those probably
definitely.
the top three.
You know where they want to rank Luca? You already know he number one.
Yeah, he could definitely be number one, but people got their own preference, so Booker could be number one. We never know.
That's true.
So that's why I'm gonna try to keep my eye on, see if we get the other 10 on the first future episode. P.S. Sorry about episode 94 was moved to Friday when we do the football show because technical difficulties. All right, and we all took a day off. All right, we had some fun and laughs and we took a day off. But what are you guys' feelings on the NBA season starts in 13 days?
Can't
It's
wait.
crazy. I feel like we
Can't
just
wait.
ended the season.
It did.
Can't wait.
Like, that's
And
wild.
we get football and basketball. We
I got
vibing.
agendas.
Why everybody got agendas, bro? I just want to enjoy.
Cause everybody likes to make predictions of how things are gonna happen.
Yeah, predictions is fine. Agendas, though, there's something different.
Yeah, those are part of my predictions.
Yeah,
If
I
I
mean,
believe
move it, you be back. You got a meeting to go to real quick.
if I believe in something, I gotta push that agenda. If I say, hey, I think this team is gonna be here, that's my agenda.
I mean, now I don't agree with that. It's just your opinion. I don't think that's an agenda.
Yeah, if I'm pushing it, I gotta rock
Agenda
with
to
it.
me is when you're taking a narrative and trying to put it on somebody, and you're trying to make the masses fall to that narrative about that person. That's an agenda. An agenda is what G Baby does. When G Baby comes on here and say, "Oh, if Boston loses to the Heat in the Eastern Conference Finals, then they're the Eagles of the NBA." That's like to me what an agenda is.
Oh, okay,
When
okay.
you're trying to label a team or label a player a certain way, you're trying to make the people follow that. That's just what it is to me.
So me saying, for example, me saying that I don't think Giannis is the best player in the world. Is that an agenda I'm pushing, or that's just my opinion?
It could be both, but I would say that's
That's what
more
I'm
than my
saying. You
opinion.
feel me?
It could be both, but it depends on what you add to Giannis not the best player in the league. It like what comes after that.
Oh, because I just think players are just better than him in this league.
Yeah, I would say that's more of an opinion.
Like
Like
based
to
on
push the narrative, you have to push a narrative of Giannis is not this great player. He doesn't do this, that. These many players do this, and skill is better than him. And just because he has success with his team, if you put this player like that's an agenda to me. If you're trying to push
okay,
something on a player, like if you're saying like, yo, this I got three players that's better than these three players, this player, then nah, that to me that's just an opinion.
all right, that's not it.
Because then I could come back with, nah, I think these players are better than the three players that you named, and I wouldn't put these three players in front of that one player. So, that would just be my opinion too. I would just hit you with the players that I think are better than whoever you name. So
I
if you
realized it
name,
was light in his outside for him. I'm like, it's dark out here, and I realized
yeah,
he's
it's dark
West
out here
Coast.
too. He had like 5:30
Yeah,
when we moved
he in
to
the
there.
West Coast.
Yeah.
It's over there sunny.
So
It's over there
yeah, I
4 o'clock and stuff.
listen. I try to get people from all around the world. We all got a voice, man. We all want to talk sports. You feel me? We
Yeah,
all like listening to sports. I try to bring the world together, man.
I can't wait for this season to start, man.
Me either. Boston looking good. Ben Simmons looking like he gonna play. I'm hoping my narrative on the Nets being the top three seed in the East, fully healthy, comes to fruition. So then everybody can bow down to the king. You feel me? Cause
Warriors
y'all
back to
sleeping
back.
on Warriors back to back. You crazy. Don't meet Boston in the finals again. We ready. We ready.
Yeah, man, I'm on pushing that line, bro. I don't care.
You a Warriors fan?
Yes, he
Of
is.
course.
It's
Yeah,
all right
yeah.
because his quarterback name is
Born
Derek
and
David
raised.
Carr. So he has to be a Warriors fan to make up for being a Raiders fan. You know what I mean? School.
Of course.
I'm
I
a,
was
I'm a
the
Steelers fan, so I can't say that. I'm a
Hey, how you
Steelers
feel
fan. I
about
can't say that.
quick side note? How you feel about Pickett? You ready for him to take over?
Oh God, bro. I hate the fact that we just threw him out there because of what everybody was talking about, like the media, everybody. Like I think they just forced him to be out there when he really shouldn't have. Should have gave
What do
him
you mean
time to
clutch with no
develop.
coach?
Hmm?
I'm talking to clutch in the clutch. Chad, he said with no coach. I don't know what he's referring to.
I believe Mitchell Trubisky is still the guy like that can help us get more wins. He makes he makes less mistakes.
Yeah, I just think Mitch is a more sustainable quarterback for y'all right now.
Like if you even look at the game and watch the game, we score 6 points at half. Then he comes in the second half. First throw he ever throws, pick. You know what happens right after
I,
that? Zach
I would
Wilson
put that
throws a
more on
pick.
Claypool.
No, no, no. He threw it. He
I got you.
underthrew
I
him
got you, clutch.
in double coverage. He underthrew him in double coverage.
I
That you
mean,
can't you can't underthrow a deep ball and think that's not possibly going to get picked off. That's just
you have to look at the aspects of it. Claypool had a step, and yeah, it was a
yeah,
underthrown
it's
ball. But
underthrown.
if you go up for the ball like that and it touches your hands and it literally deflects off your hands, that's on the receiver at that point.
No, the
I'm
the
not saying
the
it wasn't a
DB
bad
made
ball. I'm just saying you got to catch the
the
ball.
DB made a play on the ball that Claypool obviously like as a wide receiver he's trying to catch it. That's his job.
Mm-hmm.
But the DB played a good play,
But it's
good
not
defense.
necessarily because there's a lot of times where wide receivers turn into,
Yeah,
defense
I I
to
know.
swat the ball away. So you gotta be smart in that aspect too, whether you need to catch that ball or you need to swat it down.
And the quarterback got to be smart to not
No, one
force
hundred
that.
percent. But it's two aspects to that play than just Pickett throwing an underthrown
I,
ball.
I'll
Because
blame I'll blame
there's a lot
I'll
of
blame
times
it more on the
quarterbacks throw
quarterback than the receiver.
underthrow, and the wide receiver from the back would just smack the ball down. That's a high IQ play. Is just to get that ball on the ground and go to the next play. And I understand it was like at the end of second, right, or at the end of the quarter or something
No,
like
it
that.
wasn't the end. It wasn't the end of nothing.
He
It
just
was
threw
the
it.
beginning. It was the beginning.
Beginning of the
Okay,
third, right,
it was his
So
first.
it
It
was
was his
it
first
or the
was
ever
beginning of the
drive.
fourth. I know it's the beginning or the end of some because I was watching it on
No, it
Hudson.
was the beginning of
the
the
first
third.
series.
Third, there you
The
go.
first series of the third. We was going down the field, running the ball. His first pass throws it deep, underthrows him, pick.
I mean, it
After
is his
that,
first pass too. He got to get that arm warmed up. Just throwing it on the
man,
sideline, man. You got to
yeah,
give him.
you could have threw it. Yeah, you could have not thrown a deep ball if it's your
No,
first
that's
game.
true. I agree with you there, but I also agree with Mulich. If that ball touch your hands, then
Bro, but if a DB also
You
makes a
gotta
play
catch it.
on the
That's
ball,
that's
like
that's
you
that's
can't
another
but
say
thing
no,
to
you
one
do.
got
hundred
this with
percent.
your
But you
hand.
have to also, like I said, you also have to have the IQ to know
But
that
if it
that
bounces
DB
off
is
the
making a
receiver's
play on the
hands,
Bro,
you
come
ball.
have to
on. I
catch
don't
that
want to
ball.
hear about that. You got to know the IQ. As a receiver, he's trying to catch the ball and make a
Yes,
play.
yes, one
But
hundred
the
percent.
ball
But
was
there's
so
another
bad.
And
aspect
he
to
The
that
dropped
ball
it.
was
too.
badly
It bounced right
thrown.
off his hands.
Right, it bounced off his
It
It
didn't
hands.
doesn't
bounce
matter. He
right off
dropped
his
it.
hands because it got
It
Yes,
deflected
it
got
did.
deflected. It got
It got
deflected, and then
deflected off of
it
off of the
bounced up
It
DB's
off his
bounced
hand
right
hand.
off
and
his
went
hands.
up in the air, and another DB caught it.
No,
That
one hundred
was just a
percent.
It
bad
bounced right
decision.
off his hands
We're not
because he
saying that it
dropped
wasn't a
it and
bad
somebody
decision,
made a
but
play on
we're
the
not
ball.
saying what we're saying is we're not just
Nah,
gonna blame
it
picking on.
wasn't just Claypool dropped it. The DB made a play, and another
No,
DB
I
came
agree
and
with you.
just
The
did it.
DB
The
did make a
DB
play,
didn't make that good of a play, bro.
but the ball
Yes,
wasn't
You're
yes,
in
he
giving
his
did.
you
hands. To tuck it.
no, he didn't. You're giving that DB way too much credit. He didn't make that good of a
Okay,
play. It
you
literally
can
bounced on
watch the
Claypool's hand.
film again. You can watch the film again. Like the bad was badly thrown. It was underthrown. Like it was inside of the numbers.
I'm not saying
Like
it
it
wasn't a
was
bad ball. I'm saying
Yeah,
that
we're saying
he
it
literally
was a
went
bad
up
ball,
for it.
but he
He tried to high
okay.
point it. Everybody is saying that if he would have high pointed it at a higher point, he would have caught the ball. He tried to bring it in close to his body, which caused it to bounce off of him, which caused the
It
DB
didn't,
to dive over and
bro. It
catch the
didn't
ball.
bounce off him. The DB was right next
Yes,
to
it did.
him. The DB was. Hold
It
on. How are
bounced
you going to
right
say
off his
in a?
hands.
So, hold on. The DB was right underneath Chase Claypool. That's why it was underthrown. Chase Claypool have him over the top. So if it was an underthrown ball, obviously Chase Claypool is going to have to readjust to try to catch it, and the DB was
I ain't forget
already
about you,
right there
coach.
underneath him. That's what made him deflect it, and that's what made it look like it hit off Chase Claypool's two hands. No, the DB made a play on it, and then another DB just intercepted the ball, and then right after that, you know what happened? Minka Fitzpatrick caught a pick, and he damn near ran it back for a pick six, and that's how we scored that one touchdown we had that he ran in, quote unquote, QB sneak that he ran in for. And then, yes, he had one good drive, and then after that, when it was time to seal the deal, he threw a pick. Like he threw another pick. I would rather the quarterback. If we're going to have quarterback
Well,
issues,
you did say yourself that they rushed him in.
what you mean?
That you think they should have stuck with
Yeah,
him.
yeah, because I think for a fact that he
That he's
was
not
going to
ready.
be more. Yeah, he was going to
Basically,
turn the
that
ball
Pitts,
over.
yeah,
I
that
would
Pitts is
rather.
not ready.
Yeah,
But that's what I'm saying. I'm not giving him excuses. But you have to understand if when a quarterback is not ready to he needs development, you put him in a game situation like that where the game is tight. He's gonna try to make something happen, and I think that's where that deep ball came from. He thought he saw a glimpse of something. He was like, I gotta make something happen because if I make something happen, then I'm good in this position for now. I'll get the team behind me
he
because
was
that's
good
his.
he was good in the position once he started.
No, 100%. But the team got to get behind him. He got to get that team behind him so he could build his confidence in that offense. Like that could be another thing. His confidence probably wasn't built in that offense. He got thrown into it. Like, all right, go out there and try to win this game. And it's like, all right, now I got to go out there and make a play. His first four plays is running plays. Run, 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 run. That's what they did to him. So if you're gonna get him out there, let him loose. Let him throw a 5-yarder. Let him throw a 10-yarder. Let him throw something
Yeah,
15. Tell him where
yeah,
to look for.
he can throw those.
But
Don't
but
throw no
he
deep
he
shots.
probably tried to make something happen, and he saw that shot down the field and he took it. He did the Jameis Winston and he took it. That's all
And
I'm saying.
and now we got
I
to
still
go
think you're
against the
supposed to catch the
Bills.
ball as a receiver.
Well, the Bills is reeling, so y'all about to get dealing. All right. They on a roll right now. They done came off beating the Ravens. They looking at
Now we
y'all as
got to play
just a
the
step
Bills. Like,
stool. Yeah, y'all just a step stool. Y'all not even a step stool. Y'all a
and
step
he's
stool.
going to throw under. He's going to throw under, and he's going to throw deep balls, and he's going to throw it right
So
to
you're
Jordan
saying he's just
Poyer.
gonna underthrow Debo's
No, yep,
underthrow deep balls
right to
the whole
right to
game?
Jordan Poyer.
Yeah, nah. I think they get him in. They got him in there. They know that he's probably gonna be the starter, so they got him working on what he's comfortable in the playbook. We see it all the time, and he's gonna go out there and throw some little dink and dunks, and
He
take a
should.
shot here or there. And they're gonna tell him like, we rather you overthrow that thing than underthrow that thing. So make sure you put some oomph on it. I think he'll be fine. He's a young quarterback. Got to give him some time, man.
Yeah, I
Give
wish.
him a little time. Now, me on the other hand, I don't even know who my quarterback is for this week. I don't know. We
I
running
would
the
rather give
Wildcat
him
all
time.
game. I don't know what's going on.
I'd rather give him time to the point where we don't have no chance of making the playoffs.
No, I 100% agree with you. Don't rush the guy in. I would stick with Mitch a little bit longer too. But I also understand the stigma around Mitch and that he can't get the job done. So
What you mean he a winning quarterback?
He could be. Hey, he ain't bouncing
He,
around the league because he's a winning quarterback. Let's be
he
real
went
here.
to he went to
But
Chicago and went to
let's
the
be real
playoffs
here.
twice with
That's
Chicago.
fine. That's true. That's a fact.
You know
But
how
he would
hard
not
that
be
is?
bouncing. He would not be bouncing around the league if he was a
talking about
winning
bouncing
quarterback.
around the league.
How many
He's
teams he
on
played
his
for?
3.
That's bouncing.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Bro, he went
What's
to
bouncing
Chicago.
to you?
Okay, so he was in Chicago, and when in Chicago, he had a winning record in Chicago. Went to the playoffs twice with
Facts.
Chicago.
Facts.
Chicago is just a terrible organization.
No, 100%.
So he was the backup for Josh Allen, who's a top 5 QB, and
Mm-hmm.
then and I think that was for 1 year, and then came here.
That's called bouncing, bro.
That's not called bouncing in the
He's
league.
almost officially a journeyman now.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I mean by bouncing. Like, that's a journey. You get traded. You play on 3 teams or more, bro. That's a journeyman. This is not his last team. Now we know Pickett going to start. Guess what? Mitchell's off the team. Somebody else is going to sign him. Now that's 4 teams. They might drop him in the middle of the year. A quarterback might get injured next year. Somebody might pick him up. Now that's 5 teams. He's a bouncer. He's
Yeah,
bouncing the club.
officially
Right.
a journeyman now.
I don't consider that a bouncer.
That's why I said, what do you consider one?
Because like I said, he was still a good enough quarterback, like to the point where a team was like saying, "Hey, we're going to give you a starting role."
No, 100%.
Because
so
we
was
know
Nick
you're
Foles.
good enough not to be a back. No, Nick Foles is a certified backup.
But he got job after job after job after job after job for a reason. And it wasn't
What I'm saying
winning.
is he was a backup quarterback for 1 year underneath Josh Allen, and then after that became a starter somewhere else immediately.
Because they didn't have a quarterback. You think if Pittsburgh had a quarterback, Mitchell Trubisky is there?
No, I don't. You're right, but apparently, he's
The
a
Texans
caliber.
didn't even sign him.
Yeah, bro. Nobody wants to go to Texas.
Nobody wants to say, if the team, listen, you want a job, you want a job. What's up?
You're right. And if one job's calling
Opportunities don't come every day in the NFL.
Listen. If a job is calling
Davis
from
Mills
Pittsburgh,
ain't looking too bad.
He
if
ain't.
one job is coming from Pittsburgh and another job is coming from the Texans, yeah, I'm taking Pittsburgh.
No, 100%. But I'm saying, what if the Pittsburgh is not on the table and the Texans on the table?
It was on the table for him. That's why he took it.
No, I listen. They needed a quarterback.
That's why he took it.
They took him. I think it's the other way around. They had to pick him because who else could they have picked up?
Who, us?
Yeah, who else could you guys have picked up at the time that
we just picked up a quarterback in the draft.
No, I'm saying that when you guys signed Mitchell
Should have let that rock.
right? When you knew you wasn't going with Hoagie and whatever the other quarterback that you guys had, name it. When you guys knew you wasn't going with him, you started looking for a quarterback. I remember that vividly, and you guys came over with Mitch Trubisky. And I don't understand it because there are other quarterbacks out there, and
listen.
Saying,
one of our, I hope you know that one of our quarterbacks. Hold on, we had a quarterback that retired.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Hold on, and we had another quarterback that died.
No, 100%, Dwayne Haskins.
Yeah, so like,
but that's what I'm saying. I'm not. After all of that, I'm addressing that. I'm acknowledging that happened. After that, when you're in the hunt for a quarterback, there's quarterbacks out there that I just think,
that are better than Mitch.
Yeah, that you could have got to hold that position down until Pickens was ready.
Such as who?
I got to go through. I need to know who's available at the time. I need to know who's available at the time that you guys signed Mitch.
Joe
and then
Flacco,
I can tell you.
Like,
Matt Ryan was still up there.
Nah.
Mayfield was still there.
Oh no. No.
Jared Goff? No, I don't know. Like
Jared Goff was on the team. He was a
yeah, he
starting
was. He was
quarterback.
solid.
So.
But yeah, you could have. There was still some guys I think you guys should
Baker
have.
Mayfield. Oh,
Baker was there, bro. Baker not looking too bad on Carolina. I mean, yeah, right. That's what you on.
You funny as hell for saying like you said
What?
Baker not looking too. Baker is looking awful.
Baker not looking too bad.
Baker looking. I don't think he threw over 200 yards yet.
Baker not looking bad, right? But what?
Who?
Baker Mayfield.
Oh, bro, we talking football?
He said Baker. He's talking about the Steelers.
We about to get back to basketball.
And how Mitchell Trubisky was probably our best.
Because I gotta address this Clutch comment. I don't know if Clutch still in here, but
You said what school though?
I said we was talking about how our quarterback situation, how Mitch was the best like available quarterback.
yeah, I don't remember who was available at the time that after the Wayne Haskins.
And he said Baker Mayfield.
Big Ben retired. And I'm like, there were quarterbacks still there, Matt Ryan, Baker Mayfield, that you could have took over Mitch if you were going to treat. Because what I'm saying is, I told him Mitchell Trubisky is a bouncer. He bounces. He's now a journeyman. He's been to 3 different teams. One of those teams, he was a legit backup. Like Pittsburgh only gave him the opportunity because Ben retired, and then the unfortunate events of Haskins passing away. If Haskins doesn't pass away, he's your starting quarterback. What team is Mitchell Trubisky on? That's what I'm saying, school. Yeah, I had to get him because you needed a quarterback. But I'm saying, would you not have taken Baker Mayfield with a healthy arm over Mitch Trubisky?
Yeah, I would have.
Yeah, I know. I don't even like Baker, and I would have. I don't even like Baker, school. I don't like Baker.
Do you see Baker Mayfield right now?
Listen, let's go look up Baker right now.
Baker Mayfield though, still though, school.
He's probably the best quarterback right now.
He's not better than Mitch though.
No, as of right now, no.
No, I don't think like he went. He have a 13-3 record. Like I don't understand. Like
okay,
he had
Mitch made the playoffs with the Bears twice.
They also had Khalil Mack on there, wasn't he?
Yeah.
All right. They had a solid defense, right?
Yeah, he also had Myles Garrett, right?
Yeah.
He
also had Denzel Ward.
He also had Chubb, He
also had Chubb, Kareem Hunt.
So you saying with this Steelers offense that Baker Mayfield couldn't be better than what Mitchell Trubisky is right now?
Baker Mayfield is
completing 55% of his passes. And he has 743 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. He's not playing bad.
Are you serious?
He's not playing bad, bro.
Are you serious?
What, school?
Yeah, you just haven't been watching Baker Mayfield.
I watch it. He pops up on red zone. I see him make nice passes.
What red zone? He only got 4 touchdowns.
Man.
How many touchdowns this running back got?
Way more than him.
All right, that would contribute to him not having.
They don't even score a lot of points.
No, they don't. They don't score a lot of points.
I don't know, man. I can't really say I would take Baker Mayfield. I mean, Mitch over Baker, but I understand why. When you factor in, Baker has had some great weapons, and I ain't never seen Mitchell Trubisky with great weapons.
Mitchell Trubisky had Allen Robinson. That's it.
Yeah, that's
Allen Robinson was looking good actually.
And Tariq Cohen for a split second or whatever, like he was solid, but like no real like top 10 really type of talent. You know what I'm saying? Like Baker definitely
got Nick Chubb in it.
Chubb, Kareem.
Damn, who you taking, the Jets or the Dolphins this week? Goddamn.
Dolphins.
The Dolphins.
No Tua.
So
still taking the Dolphins. Teddy Bridgewater. It's my man. Fuck with him.
Damn, I don't know who to pick out of the Seahawks. Still Saints game. I don't want to pick the Saints no more.
If Andy Dalton
Hey,
started, pick the
I
Saints.
don't trust the Saints.
I'm
I do
going
not trust them.
Seahawks. Always vote
I,
against the Commanders.
yeah, they kind of got to
Bro,
get
they
it.
O line is so bad.
I got Cooper Rush losing his first game. No more undefeated quarterbacks.
The Commanders' O line is so bad, and I feel bad for Carson Wentz, man. That's my guy. If y'all didn't know, I'm a Carson Wentz fan.
Booty cheeks.
Yeah, okay.
Booty cheeks.
He better than your quarterback.
He ain't better than my quarterback. My
Who's your,
quarterback got
who's your,
more wins than him.
who's your quarterback? Who the heck is that? Danny Dimes?
That's Eli Manning. Stop playing with him.
Eh.
Stop playing with him. Could never have the
So
success
you're a
Eli
Giants
had.
fan.
He would never have the success Eli had.
You're right. He got a ring. He got a ring though. So
With a broken leg. Like
cool.
Shockey. Like
So
Shockey.
cool.
Put him in the same category in that same ring with Shockey.
Listen, you can't say they would have won the ring without him.
They wouldn't have won a ring without him.
But the season he was having,
Nick Folks would have did the same thing.
yo, let's go back to basketball.
Nick Folks would have did the same thing, bro.
Let's go back to basketball.
He won a Super Bowl. That's who won the Super Bowl. Carson Wentz just has the ring. You know who won that game? It was Folks. It's that guy.
Let's go back to basketball.
You know what
Let's
I'm
talk about how
saying?
the Sixers are going to beat the Celtics in a 7-game series.
Don't think so. Bullshit.
Let's talk about how the Miami Heat are going to get back on the Celtics if they ever see them.
I wouldn't be mad at that. We've been going back and forth for the years, but the 76ers got to get in the mix. They're not even in the mix. I don't know what you're talking about.
What?
76ers are not in the mix. They need to get in the mix.
They are in the mix.
You know when you put the mixture of the cake in the bowl? Yeah, the 76ers.
They're a top 4 team in the conference. How are they not?
Nah, top 6. I give you that. I give you that.
That's crazy.
Give you his top 6.
That's crazy.
You got Bucks,
nope.
Boston, the Nets.
The Nets.
Stop playing like the Nets ain't a problem with KD, Ben Simmons, and Kyrie. You acting like what happened last year gonna happen.
When have we ever seen them on the court together?
Okay. You about to see it this year. You seen them in preseason, right? That's when you seen them on the court together in preseason.
Yeah, I seen them against the Sixers too. And what happened?
Yeah. In
preseason.
Ben Simmons dunked on y'all niggas. That's what happened.
Yeah, and what's his name? Tyrese Maxey was cooking them.
He still got a dunk.
Oh,
What school? Don't get mad because the 76ers going to finish in the same place the Nuggets are in 6.
You say you don't see Brooklyn being top 4?
No, we know that already. We got through this. Y'all don't see Brooklyn doing anything.
No, they top 5. They just not going to have.
No, I'm talking about Boo-Wop in them. We had this conversation, but I got Bucks, Boston, Brooklyn, and then now I'm bullshitting. Then I got the Sixers. I got Sixers finishing 4.
Yes.
I've been trolling you this whole time, though. Even in football, I was trolling your ass.
I got Bucks, Boston, Miami.
Miami is another team too that could push the Sixers out the way. And then Atlanta, I think Atlanta might be a surprise.
Long as Joel Embiid is healthy, nobody's pushing the Sixers out of the top 4 seed.
Yeah, I could finish 5. No lie.
If they finish 5, it's because they is it because of a tiebreaker.
Yeah, it's tough. It's gonna be tough for y'all.
5, that means that the East is just really good. That means somebody.
That too. It's either one or the other.
Yeah, I mean, I think Philly's a top 5 team in the East. I'm bullshitting when I was saying before, but no, I think they are there. I don't see that many teams. It's just those are the 5 for me. It's just Boston, the Bucks, Miami, the Nets, and Sixers. I just think you guys sleeping on the Nets, though, man.
I think Cleveland could be better than the
Nets. I don't see it. We could disagree. I disagree there. I think you're sleeping on the Nets.
Want to know my hot take about Cleveland?
What?
I think Wop already know.
Man, boo.
What is it? School? Hit us with it.
I got Cleveland. If Cleveland see Milwaukee in the 7-game series, I got Cleveland. I got Cleveland in 7.
The safest answer ever said, boy.
You're right. If you didn't say
Cleveland in
7, you
7.
was getting it.
Well, why would I
Cleveland
would
in
say,
7.
yeah, I
Say
wouldn't
5.
say
Saying 5.
no. That's just not being reasonable, and that's just being disrespectful
All right.
to the other team.
You just
Alright.
no, that's just hoping that it get to a game 7. You know,
No,
realistically, though.
no, ain't nobody.
Giannis in
I
5.
got the Bucks. Yeah, I got the Bucks beating y'all 4-5. No problem.
Man, they destroying them boys.
4-5. No problem. Chris Middleton there. You ain't got Boston like defense. Y'all crazy. You don't got Heat like defense either. Y'all crazy.
The one thing I will say, Cleveland do got something to somewhat
Cleveland don't got
build
defense.
a
Oh,
wall
what?
around
What I say?
Giannis.
Say the whole thing. Finish the sentence.
Bro, they
But-
had like a top.
Finish the sentence. Finish
You
the
said they don't
sentence.
have Boston like defense, or
And then
They
yeah,
don't.
Heat like defense. They don't.
bro,
They don't
they
have
was
Boston
one- they
like
was
defense.
literally
They don't have Boston like defense, bro. Stop.
Bro, what was their
Stop.
defense rank last year?
Stop.
They was top 5 probably.
Stop.
It was a top 5 defense with Jared.
But you don't
Allen.
understand what I'm saying. You don't understand.
But
Do you understand what I'm saying?
School, you know,
You're going
know,
up
like,
against Giannis.
Yeah, they got
You
the
need
size
it.
for Giannis.
No.
They got the
Giannis is-
size. That's a fact. That's what I'm
Giannis,
saying.
yeah.
Like,
Do they have the defense? The size of
That's-
defense.
that's-
No,
is a different
Jared
thing.
Allen and Evan Mobley.
Okay.
no,
Okay.
you missing. Like,
You missed
I'm
me.
more worried about the wing defenders. Like they probably not gonna play Giannis until the second round or something like that, right? So if they see Giannis them in the second round, like a real bad match, even though I think they could be better than them in the regular season, like they really don't have answers for KD, Kyrie, them, like for real, like guarding them type of teams. The 2-guard tandem teams. Like that's gonna be a weakness for them.
Yeah, they just don't have to see them.
They gonna have to see one of them type of teams.
Yeah, they're gonna
Like,
see the Bucks.
Even Atlanta could give them some problems if the Trey Young, the DeJounte Murray thing works.
You
If-
acting like the
you
Cavs.
hear what I'm saying?
You
If it
acting like
works.
the
Nah,
Cavs,
nah.
like with Mitchell, is not a like.
I don't.
The
I
defensive
got another
question
take.
is-
I don't think Atlanta making the playoffs.
I'm not
I'm
far
mad.
from you, School. I'm not gonna
I'm
lie.
not
I'm not
mad
far
at it.
from you. That's why I said
They're
they could be a
playing
surprise
team
this
to me.
year.
They like a 8,
They could be a
9,
I don't
10
got
surprise.
Atlanta
team.
making the playoffs this year.
They could be. Look, I'm not even mad at that. That's not ridiculous. I mean,
Who you got
I'm not.
better than
Not the
them?
question mark. I'm
Toronto?
not gonna say they're not gonna make the playoffs,
Yep.
but I think the question mark is still out on them, and I think the question mark is still out on the Timberwolves.
I
That's
think.
the only
I
team
think,
I can think of off hot though.
I
Toronto.
think. I'm gonna think the Bucks, Celtics, Heat, Sixers, Cavs. Who else? Cavs,
Nets,
Nets, Toronto, and
Chicago.
Chicago are better than
That's,
them.
probably, that's the 8 for sure that I would agree that's better than them. Toronto is fringe for me. Like they not clear cut better
I
than
mean,
them.
Toronto, just how hard they play is going.
Nah,
If Toronto
Toronto's-
see Atlanta, I can
No,
see Toronto beating them. In the
Toronto
seven-game
to
series.
me, you're not gonna like this. I look at Toronto like the Miami Heat.
Yeah, the team you don't want to see.
Yeah. No, I agree
but
with you
they
because
also
remember
a
what I said
team-
in that. Remember when I said in that 76ers Toronto matchup when Toronto was down, what was it, 3-1, 3-0? And I was like, and they came back and they won 2 games straight. I was like, yo, they're gonna make this. I was like, it's not over. They're gonna make it a series. Toronto gonna make it a series, and they might could come back and win it, and they won 2 straight. So they're not an easy team that you think you're just gonna breeze by if they get in the playoffs. Like, nah, they're gonna make it tough for you. It's a tough team. They play physical. They're gonna get their
but
bodies
you
up into you early.
You would rather play them than a lot of teams, though.
Oh no, 100%. 100. I'm just saying. I'm not saying you would not rather play that. I'm just saying that teams are going to be like, damn, if I got to play Toronto, they're going to make it hard for us.
Yeah, they a tough, gritty team. They gonna make you work for it.
That's one of the teams you just don't want to see because it's like they pay attention to so much detail with the coach and everything.
I disagree.
They switch their defense up like rapidly. They give you different. Like they show different things like every single time, and it's just so
all of that shit. They a tough out, but again, what I'm talking about when I say the Heat too, like at the end of the day, I think the Heat, the team currently constructed, will never win the title.
The
Never.
Heat?
I agree.
Yeah, the team right now, like the way it's constructed with the players that they have, they will never win the title. But they will scare the hell out of you every round. I agree. They will push you to the limits, but they're not winning a title.
Shit, they'll even get to a finals.
And will not win.
Hey, listen, if you can do that to your conference though, hey man.
No, it's a testament to the Heat. We know what it is.
That's just the
Like,
when I say that though, that for me it's just the crumbles of that cookie.
Listen, they said the same thing about
the.
they said the same thing about the Mavericks with Dirk. They would never win the title. They won the title.
But that's because it was real evidence of Dirk choking. Like, there's no evidence of Miami choking. They just be reaching their limit, look like they just cash out as hard as they can. But Dirk was choking.
When Dirk was choking.
06, right? 06, 07? First,
Oh yeah,
one seed.
yeah, I understand that, but did you
really he blew the 2-0 against Miami? Like, even though we know D-Wade performed, but he still was up 2-0 in that series and didn't win another game.
Yeah, but did anybody really think the Mavs was a championship team? Like they had Dirk and like some
Josh Howard,
good role players.
Josh Howard, he was a solid all-star caliber type
but
player.
when you in the conference next to Tim Duncan, Manu Ginobili, Tony Parker,
they got that old school. They beat them
So
teams. They got there.
So did the Heat.
They was right.
So we can do the same thing they did.
What you mean?
Magically make some magic happen.
You talking about 06 or 2011? Which one?
2011. They made some magic happen.
Yeah. No, they played.
You right, but what happened?
Them cookie crumbles.
What happened against your Heat?
They picked them up.
Let's not act like a choke.
That's what I said. Make some magic happen.
Right. I hear you, but
that's what I'm saying.
So the teams that Dirk choked against didn't make no magic happen?
What you mean? No, they did.
I'm just asking Boo.
Which teams?
Whichever ones you said Dirk choked against, they didn't make no magic happen?
Not really the Heat in 06. No, they just D-Wade just outperformed.
Went off.
Oh, yeah.
D-Wade just blacked out.
Man, you can say the We Believe Warriors, they kind of made some magic happen. You know what I'm saying? They kind of. That was just a bad performance by an MVP though. Like he got obliterated. Like he got exposed. Like that's just the reality. It's one thing to lose, but he lost bad and he lost convincingly as the MVP. Like no fight. He was letting. That was back when Dirk used to actually let like 6'5", 6 people guard him. I remember Baron Davis checking him in the post. Like he used to go for that back then. Like
BD?
Yeah. Like the difference between Dirk in that 06 run and that 2011 run, Dirk wouldn't allow nobody to guard him. Definitely not no little motherfucker. You put a little motherfucker, it's basket. You getting this work. Like that's the difference. Like he was a different person, like mentality wise. Like he wasn't going for that bullshit no more. He wasn't no roughing them up type shit. Because up until that run, Dirk was known as a choke artist. Like they thought he was finna lose against Portland, and they was talking about it then. Like he's probably finna go home in the first round. Like Dirk was known as a choker. That's why I say like that ring did a lot for Dirk. Like clearly, it did a whole lot for him. Because who would he be without the ring? Of course, he'd be like damn near Melo in a sense.
Nah.
Yes. Nah. Without that ring, school, he'd be damn near Melo.
Nah, without the ring, he's still one of the greatest power forwards.
Yeah, Melo was never MVP caliber player. Like, nah.
Man,
like you got to remember, people were talking like Dirk would never get a ring. And he was still mentioned in the same conversation with the greatest power forwards that was. That Dirk before he got when Dirk was
like the first round.
Like let's not act like the conversation wasn't there.
I'm saying though, he would just had a 30,000 points no ring.
Like Dirk made a couple first team All NBAs. Melo ain't never make a all first team All NBA. Never.
Yeah, I agree. He should have though, but I agree.
Nah, Melo's on the table.
Over who?
What you mean when he like second in MVP votes?
When?
That year in New York.
Carmelo was never second in MVP vote.
Carmelo Anthony wasn't second in MVP. Are you sure about this?
I'm Googling
I
right
can
now.
look this up right now. We got Google.
2012, 2013, I'm pretty sure he was either top 3 in MVP votes. I think he was second. LeBron won it that year in 2013, though. Because that was the year LeBron was supposed to be unanimous MVP.
He was over Kevin Durant in
No,
2013.
Kevin. Yeah, he came in third.
Top 3.
Yeah, he came in
That's
third.
respectable. That's respectable, though, G. Top 3. He that year in particular, he should have been to me.
Yeah, he was third.
Well, not
His
over
highest was
KD and
the third
LeBron though.
place.
So like, but look who he was going up against. I hear it though, but he was up against Bron and KD. Shit.
KD was in like year 3.
Yeah, but then before Bron and KD, it was Bron and Dirk, Bron and this Ford.
Exactly. He was never that good enough when KD
Yeah,
was.
but I'm just saying, I'm not
Dirk
saying he
was
wouldn't
that.
be.
Hold on, don't forget Brian.
And
And
that next year, Carmelo finished right under Dirk and MVP votes. 14 and 15. I just wanted to.
14, 15 finished underneath Dirk.
Yeah, the 14.
That's crazy.
13, 14. The year 13, 14. Dirk finished 14. Carmelo finished 15.
Yeah,
That's
wild.
crazy.
But I'm just saying, like, if Dirk without that ring, bro, you can't just sit here and act like.
Nah, Patrick Ewing without that ring is still
Melo.
Patrick Ewing. Dirk without his ring is still Dirk.
Yeah. What we saying about these players though?
No, but you saying.
But Dirk was still one of the greatest power
Dirk
forwards.
right now is considered a top 20 player, like
right
now,
because of who Dirk was. The ring adds to it, yes, Boo, but it's because of what the player that he was.
Without the ring, he falls down to top 45, man. I'm sorry.
No.
Yeah.
Nah.
Nobody would ever say he was better than Charles Barkley out that ring. Nobody ever.
But Charles, I think that's still that's more.
Bro,
you could then have a more of a debate about Dirk
bro.
versus Charles because neither one of them have a ring. Then you got to go off his skill and what both of them did for the league. Like I don't understand that. Like Dirk is not just some power forward without a ring. He was one of the greatest power forwards in the game. Before he got that ring. That's like I don't understand where you're coming from.
What you mean less like? What you mean less like? I just said what it was. Charles Barkley I don't get it. He's better. Nah. But people say Dirk is better because of the ring. Yeah.
Nah, I don't believe that.
They would never mention him in the same breath as Charles Barkley without that ring. Karl Malone, none of these guys.
How would they not mention him in the same breath? And Charles don't even have a ring.
He was not as good as them.
Dirk was a beast, bro. I don't understand it. Like revolutionized big man taking threes and stretching the floor more. Like I don't understand that. Like he big part of that. Like power forwards getting out of the down low. He like I don't get it, boo. I'm not. Sorry, I'm not with you on this one.
That's okay. I didn't say Dirk
was still one of the best power forwards in the league before.
Probably still be top 5. He got 30,000 points. Probably still be top 5.
Nah, I'm just saying. In effect, you'd be like, he be in the rims of like Melo. Nah, I can't go that low. James Harden and him will be in the same conversation. That's in the same room. What's his name? Karl Malone. You feel me? He be in there. Somewhere in there.
That's what I'm saying. Like Patrick Ewing, he will be right up there with those guys. Like he's still an all-time great at the position without the ring. Yeah, the ring boosts him, but let's not act like he 40 for top 40. No, I don't.
Yeah.
No.
Top 40.
No.
Yeah.
Bro, it's an argument right now. You can say Paul George is better than Carmelo Anthony.
Hell no.
Shit, this is a debate that T-Mac is better than Carmelo.
No, I ain't doing the T-Mac. I ain't going that far.
If you ain't doing the T-Mac, you ain't doing the Paul George.
I'm doing Paul George.
Definitely a debate about T-Mac versus Carmelo, bro.
I'm definitely doing Paul George. You can debate that Paul George is over Melo all the time. You can argue that.
You're fucking crazy if you think you can really argue that, though.
Why can't you?
Like, I'm just being. You can't.
Why?
What are we saying? Like all time, you saying he's a better player all time than Carmelo Anthony. Carmelo Anthony is 2,000 points away from 30,000 points, bro. I don't think Paul George even got 15,000 points, bro.
That's a longevity stat.
So what has Paul George done to make me think this? Other than
I mean,
pass the eye test. That's enough.
I mean, I
That's it.
mean, he got multiple All NBAs just like Melo. He has what? He's led the league in steals. He's also I'm trying to think. Let me think. I'm thinking off the top
Carmelo's
of my
never
head
been
right
on
now.
first team. Paul George
That
has
too.
one. They both got all NBA 6 times. Paul George has 2 first team defensive. Give me a second. Moves just
Like you
popped
can make
back
an
in.
argument that Paul George is over Melo. Like you can legit make an argument for
You
that.
All
can't.
defensive
The only
team,
thing you
Paul
can tell me is
George
that you
4,
think Paul
Carmelo
George is a
0,
better player,
scoring
You
leader,
can make a
Carmelo
legit argument all
1,
time too.
0,
but not
Paul,
all time though. Like
steal
no
leader
way that you
1.
can say all time, bro. He's better than Melo.
All time PG over Melo?
You can make it. You
Ain't no
can make
way.
an. I'm saying you can just make an argument for it.
You can say he's going to eventually
I
Are
mean,
play
there
a few
Carmelo
games?
played
games.
19 seasons. Paul George
They,
played 12.
are there
In that
games
time,
translated to the playoffs?
in
If
that
they
time,
get in the
Carmelo is
playoffs,
25, 6, 3, 1 steal, half a block. Paul George is 20.4, 6.4 rebounds. So Carmelo's 6.2. I don't know if I said 6.2. And then he's 3.6 assists, 1.7 steals, and 1.4 blocks. So I mean they're equal. And Paul George does have 15,000 points. He has 15,000 points. And Carmelo does have 28. So
like it's just longevity at that.
but Carmelo also played 1,260 games,
But we
and Paul
obviously
George
know Melo better than
737.
that. But you still like if Paul George never wins a ring and he don't
I
get
don't know,
just
bro. Carmelo's
And then, but if
44% from
Paul
the
George
field,
never wins a ring,
35 from the
consistently gets
three,
all
81
NBA
from the free
teams,
throw. Paul George is 43 from the field, 38 from the three, and 84 from the free throw. I don't
yeah,
know. They're
people
pretty
say
similar,
Melo.
so I think you can have the debate because neither one of them. I mean, if you
I would
go
listen to
back,
the
it's
argument.
like
I would
You
definitely
can
listen
say
to the
Paul
Melo
argument.
George.
over the
Right now,
score.
I would give Paul George the edge because Paul George has a first team. He has 2 all first team defensive, and then but he has all 4 all defensive teams all together. Like yeah, Carmelo has a scoring championship. He's
I
been in the
think
league
definitely give
19,
Paul George the
19
slight.
years. He's been in the league 19 years. He's been in the playoff 13 times, which means he's missed 6 years of the playoffs. Paul George's been in the league 12 years and been in the playoff 10 times, so it means he missed 2 years in the playoff. So I don't know. 10-7 All Stars. Like I said, I think it's debatable. I think it's really close to debatable. But I probably would school. I probably would give the edge to Paul George because of what he has done overall in the
Well, I
NBA.
wasn't giving the edge to anybody. I'm just saying you could just make an argument
Yeah,
for
you
it.
can make an argument. That's what I'm saying. I'm with you.
And
You
for
can make an
Dirk, and
argument.
if you say you can make an argument for Paul George over Dirk, that just sounds ridiculous. If Dirk even didn't even have a ring, it would just sound
yeah.
ridiculous to say that.
I'm not
Moolish,
making that argument.
Do you think Dirk is a top 25 player without a ring?
Of all time,
Yes.
He's sitting
I
right
think
next
you
to
can make that
Charles
argument. Yeah.
Barkley. He'll be sitting right next to Charles
Who
Barkley.
I think he drops down to like 45, 40, 45.
He does.
I don't think so. He's one of the best power forwards
yo,
that lived.
you really
Yeah,
undermine Dirk
I
then.
don't think
Like,
so. I think,
Undermining
yeah,
him.
I
The
think
fuck?
what Dirk did was
so
crazy.
where do you have Charles Barkley at? Oh,
You like in the 35 to 40 range.
okay. Never mind.
Hey,
God
I'm
damn, bro.
I'm consistent, bro. Like I'm
No,
like
100%. We know 100%. But
No,
I just
no, I
don't
just had
think
to ask.
that.
I
the
just had to
top
ask
30,
anyone.
bro. You definitely a champion. Like you better be a champion, bro. Like who in the top 30 without a ring? Nobody, right? Nobody.
Nah, Karl Malone. I'll put him up there. I'm sorry.
He ain't in there. Folks is in the
He's
top
not in
30.
there. He's
He's
not
30
in
something.
there.
He not in there.
He's not in there.
I just can't put dudes that just got rings over certain players.
Yeah, like
No, it ain't dudes. It ain't just certain dudes. It's you know what? I take that back. He might
Yeah,
be a
come on.
motherfucker that low key.
Yeah, come on,
I was
Yeah.
bro.
about to say, like, there's
It's a
definitely
few
players
players
that's
that's
top
up
He
15.
there.
might be
Dr.
the
J, how many
only
rings
one
Dr.
though.
J got?
Like for real, Karl Malone might be the only one when I think about it. Like he might be the only one that I have in my top 30 without a ring.
Come on, wow.
Yeah, he that's it. Name me another one, G. Name me somebody else that got to go in there.
I'm looking up some stuff right now. I'm trying to figure it
Name me one more.
out. Okay, Bookies, I got it.
You're not
I
gonna
know who
like
you
the
thinking of. But school. Can we wait till he get to like 25,000 points or something, G? Like the
25,000.
start. Come on, G. He close. Ain't even 23,000.
Let me see. He
Like
said, "I
Malone,
know
you
who
got
you thinking."
37,000, bro. Like that's all I'm saying, bro. Harden got a strong case to be another dude that can make my top 30, though. I'm not gonna lie.
Shit.
Without a ring. Without a ring.
Let's see. Total points. How many total points?
Where's John Stockton ring for you?
Oh
he
yeah,
in
he
there.
had 23,000. He like that. He gonna have 25,000 at the end. At the end of this season,
Stockton like in the 40s somewhere.
he should have 25,000 at the end of this season.
Stockton in the 40s.
50. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. He the most overrated player in NBA history.
Where's Jerry West? Hundreds?
Not overrated. Jerry West? Jerry West like in the top 30, 35. Somewhere in there. Like 35, 40 range. Somewhere in there. I know I got him over Barkley.
The last time I said something about
Definitely got
Jerry
him
West,
over
I got in
Barkley.
trouble.
Why? What you say about Jerry?
So where's Dominique Wilkins ring?
Apparently, I said something bad about Jerry. Man, I was like, "Oh my bad, it was just a joke."
What you say? You said, "Come on."
Yeah, I was gonna ask you that. What about Dominique Wilkins?
Where's
man?
Dominique
Like,
Wilkins ranked at?
Okay, Dominique. For me, Dominique is probably like top 50 in the 40 to 50 range.
What about AI?
Yeah, like in the
that's a good one.
35 to 40 range.
Meek was a problem though.
Yeah, absolute problem.
Well,
But he ain't get no ring. He ain't get no ring.
I mean, but you can't.
Troy, I can
parade up
name
against
40
Jordan,
players
though.
better than Dominique Wilkins. This is not hard. This is not hard.
That's interesting.
Are we talking about players or like I'm talking about just Nick?
We talking
scoring,
about
though, like,
we talking about careers because again, if you want to just say player, right, that just means skill set. I don't have a problem with telling me Paul George got a better skill set than Carmelo Anthony. I know basketball. I can clearly see that. Paul George got a better skill set than a lot of motherfuckers, though. So if that's the case, we might as well say Paul George a top 10 player ever, because I ain't never seen the motherfucker with his game for real. They can do it all the way he can do it. I ain't never seen one. Yeah, I'm just keeping it 100. The way he do it, like smooth as hell on both sides.
Yeah, Paul George's game is real different.
So, but we talking about careers, and Dominique did not have a top 40 career of all time. Like, just didn't.
Scoring wise, I think he did.
Oh, scoring wise, what are we talking about? Yeah, scoring wise, yeah. But if you know what I'm saying, like if we just broke it down for scoring, and tried to make that like, because that was your best thing you did, and like he is clearly one of the greatest players to ever play. Like he's on the top 75, he's on the top 50. Like he's clearly one of the best to ever play. I'm not taking no real shot at him. I just think his players is clearly better than him. Like a whole generation of players that came that in his generation that played against was better than him.
I don't know.
I can understand it if you're talking about like overall
What we
players
talking
like
about?
that play all aspects of the game, not just scoring. I can understand that.
D Wade is a better player than Dominique Wilkins.
I'm not mad at that. I'm honestly not mad at that at all.
It's some people, Troy, right now that will tell you Paul Pierce is a better player than Dominique Wilkins.
Oh, you know I ain't gonna fight you on that.
But so what we doing? That's what
I'm just asking. I'm just gauging your logic.
I'm telling you right now, I'm not the person that thinks Paul Pierce is better than Dominique Wilkins. That's me.
I think Paul Pierce is underrated though.
I don't. He's the top 75 player of all time. I'm fucking underrated.
Now I'm talking about amongst fans, like people that watch this sport.
I can understand that point, Troy. That's actually very
I
true.
think he. I think he's somewhat slept on to a degree, but again, not
Yeah,
too
about
much.
120 Fahrenheit degree.
I just think people forget sometimes how much of a problem that man was.
They
Ain't
don't.
call him the truth for nothing.
They don't really forget. Like I'm just telling you, like when you think of the
You can't
greatest
speak
players
for
of all
them. You
time.
got to speak for yourself, boy, because you don't know what all fans
I
in the
talk
sport.
to, yeah, but when you call somebody underrated or overrated, like it gotta mean like you hear people like truly sleeping on him
I have
by
heard
his
people
media.
truly sleeping on Paul Pierce.
What by saying what, Troy?
That there are a lot of players better than him that I wouldn't consider better than him, Paul Pierce.
Like who?
Like in that time, in the time in 08,
Mhm.
right? Well, when did we win the title? 08, right?
Right. He wasn't a top 10 player.
He wasn't a top 10 player.
No.
But Kevin Garnett was.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm fine with that. No,
Absolutely.
I just think Paul Pierce is just people just look over him when they're talking about like when you're putting people in categories of being like great. I think Paul Pierce was damn near close to like I'm not saying top 10 player of all time, top 20 player of all time, but I do think he deserves some respect. You know, especially in those
Yeah,
battles
especially when you talk about the different aspects of his game.
with
Like, there's a lot of
LeBron
people that sleep on him.
and the battles they had with LeBron and the Cavs, LeBron with the Heat, getting to the finals and having to play Kobe twice. Like I think, like I just think he people can give him a little bit more respect.
I mean,
Just
I
a little
hear
bit.
you, but that's why I don't really do the mono like battles and shit like that too tough. Like because again, even though he squared off against these players, for the most part, it was the great Boston
No, I
Celtics
know
team
it's the Lakers versus
that
Boston. But
team
I'm just
was.
talking about when we think about players, like we think about Kobe, we know it's Kobe and Shaq and them. But when we look at Kobe, we look at the success of that team had. That's what all
Right.
I'm saying with Paul Pierce is look at the success the team had with Paul Pierce, and if KD don't get injured, Paul Pierce probably has 2 rings, and I guess in your logic, who out there will move him up the list.
Oh, with 2 rings, yeah, depending on how you won that if you won a back-to-back Finals MVP or something like that, yeah. Not to say again, like I think
So what?
he's what's up?
Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I think he's actually I got him. You know what I'm saying? I got Paul Pierce somewhere in like the 45, 55 range, somewhere in there.
I ain't mad at it. There
Honestly, I'm
are a
not
lot
mad
of
at
players
that.
that have better careers, yeah, that have better careers than him when you look at the totality of the careers. Again, I just think as a basketball player that Paul Pierce is under, slept on. But
Go ahead,
Do you
School.
think?
What you gotta say?
Do you think?
you're breaking up school.
Driving through the mean streets.
School is experiencing some technical difficulties.
My bad. Y'all can hear me now.
Yeah, we can hear you
Yeah.
now.
I said, do you think David Robinson is better than guys like Kevin? Let's say Kevin. Well, guys like Karl Malone and Charles Barkley.
I would say Barkley, not Malone, but Barkley, yeah. I'm almost like that's like I'm almost want to say he better than Malone too.
Is it
Like
because
he
of the
just
rings?
it's not because of the rings, it's because like I think he was a more talented player than Malone.
So, all right, so we all know like both of their. Well, we all know D. Rob prime was all throughout the '90s. Like he didn't play in the '80s or nothing. He played
Right.
strictly '90s. So you think D. Rob in the '90s was better than Malone in the '90s throughout that throughout the '90s?
Yeah,
10 period.
I think he was a
Oh,
I it's tough to just say like yeah, like again, I just think he was just a more talented player. Like defensively, he clears them, right? Then
yeah,
offensively, he
obviously.
was a scoring champ. and just was an athletic freak of nature at that time. Like he kind of was like the '90s version of Giannis in a sense back then. Like you
Yeah,
know
you're
what I
right,
mean? Like
100%. I always
Yeah,
say his
I can see
comparison
that.
is Giannis. I always say D-Rob comparison is Giannis. I
so
always tell people
so
that.
yeah, that's why I say like the rings might do it for me because one he contributed on the '99 one for sure. He contributed that one. The second one he was kind of just along for the ride, but I just think with the rings kind of slightly push him above Malone for me. Like he like 28, 29 for me. Malone somewhere in that too.
But I don't throughout that '90s, I can't say D-Rob was over Karl Malone throughout the '90s. Knowing what Karl Malone was doing on the constant.
Who got the first MVP between them?
Yeah, it was D-Rob.
Who got the first depot before a nigga got an MVP?
Yeah, but who got more MVPs?
Malone. But I think the MVP and the depot kind of weigh out them, it's like equal with the two MVPs.
You can say that, but then like Carmelo also got
Yeah,
some. Carmelo also got some
D-Rob
all
was
defensive teams.
He got
problem.
three. I know he got three of them. He got three of them. But again, I'm just saying, like, when he won I think he was the first dude to get the quadruple double. Like,
Yep,
David
he did
Robinson
some
was a
things, but just Karl Malone was just like
now check this out. Karl Malone through that time, I think he had, I want to say 5 first round exits in the '90s. It's either 4 or 5 in the '90s.
oh, I have to
With
check.
another all NBA, John Stockton, this guy that, everybody to me kind of overrate. Now, when I hear him, when I hear he's a top 5 point guard of all time, I think that's overrating the player. Like, he's not top 5, not to me. So, but if people want to
He's in
call
my
him
top
that,
five,
that's
but that's
fine.
just me.
Hey, the numbers suggest that he's clearly top 5. Like when
Shout
you
out
look at
to
the
our
numbers,
YouTube viewers, man. Hit that like button.
appreciate y'all. But yeah,
Um,
when
go
you
ahead,
look at
Will.
the numbers, he's first in assists, first in steals. But he's also the only player, like I keep telling people, he's the only player that leads not only in one major category, he leads in 2 to not have a ring. Everybody else that leads a major category all time has a ring. He
In
leads in 2.
basketball, you
Right. I'm
just
talking about
watching basketball, you can tell that Chris Paul is just
better.
over him. Like
Yeah.
he's just over him. Like all time wise too. Like it's just Chris Paul got the longevity. He already like all Chris Paul needed was the longevity.
And I
He got
put
that
Chris
completed,
Paul on
and
that
like
Utah team. They beat Mike in '98. You heard him first. I
like
ain't gonna front.
the
Chris
one
Paul get
legit
hurt though.
time
That
you
probably
seen
be the
Chris
only
Paul with
reason
a
why.
tier 1 player was with Harden. He got hurt.
That's what I was gonna say. Like Chris Paul for get hurt in the Western Conference Finals and lose to somebody in Utah, not go to the finals. On the real, losing, get hurt in the Western Conference Game 5, but no, man. Like I still just think clear for me. What hurts John Stockton more than anything is that he was a number 2, literally his whole fucking career.
I can understand that point.
Yeah, I
Like
can definitely
his
understand that point.
whole career, a number 2. Like
Yeah, that's yeah.
Yeah,
that don't
you
help you
can't
when
dispute that.
you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like
that's true.
that hurts him. And even though he was a dog for about 10 years straight, from like 80, he had a crazy run from like 87 to 97, a crazy run. Him and Malone together is like one of the worst like stories in NBA history. For them two not to get a one
Ring,
ring,
yeah.
it's crazy. And I gotta fault Malone, but I also just gotta. I went back and looked at some of them series. Stockton wasn't delivering. He was not delivering. Malone could have played better, but
That is
Stockton definitely could have played
true.
better.
That's true, yeah.
That is true. That is true. That's a big ass point that a lot of people miss with John Stockton in those finals. Man.
Yeah.
He could have played a
A
lot
lot
better.
better. But people always just chalk it up as like, oh, they went against the Bulls.
No, it ain't that
That's
simple.
true. They do chalk it up against that. Oh, he just went against Mike and the Bulls, but it's like nah, because you got to think about all aspects of John Stockton's game. He should have played a lot
why
better
they
in
ain't
that
get one of them
series.
Hakeem titles. That's what I look at. How they let Hakeem by himself win back-to-back titles? They ain't get one of them.
Not even.
I wouldn't say Hakeem back by himself. Though.
The first one, he was definitely by himself.
You gotta get Kenny Jet and those guys.
I give them some respect, but they was not. When I say you by yourself, that means you do not have a legit number 2 option. That's what I mean.
You can say that, but I mean, sometimes your legit number two option can be the rest of the team.
If it's getting done by committee, if it's getting
that's
done
what I'm
by
saying.
committee,
it can be the rest of the team.
That's cool. That means that I can go back and understand.
And that's why I don't think, and that's why I can say I don't think, even though the Bulls had no answer for Hakeem, I don't think Hakeem beats the Bulls if Jordan stays. If Jordan played the full 2 seasons the next year, I just don't. Who's stopping Hakeem?
Jordan not
Who's
winning,
stopping
bro.
Hakeem? Who's stopping Jordan?
Jordan not winning 8 straight, bro.
I'm not saying I didn't say 8 straight. Did not say 8 straight. My thing is, I think Hakeem gets the first one, not the second one. That's my thing.
I think he gets the second one, not the first one.
That could be true too, but I'm saying if the Jordan's there, the same thing we say, or that you guys have said on this podcast about they don't have nobody to stop Hakeem. They ain't had nobody to stop Jordan.
Bro, the Bulls is going, bro, at some point the Bulls is just going to be fatigued just from going to the finals.
100%. That's why I said I think they lose the first one and win the second one, because I think they would have been fatigued that 4th year going back, trying to 4P, and the Hakeem and them would have got him, and then the Bulls would have regrouped, and they would have came back and beat them.
Yeah,
they would have beat them the second time.
They would have been fatigued more.
No, I'm talking about, damn, that's the wrong word.
You don't get a boost of energy. You still playing. You still playing into the finals.
Not regroup, but
No, the motivation. They'll have the motivation to go back and prove themselves again. Like they need. All right, this team took us out. We gotta.
No, they was gonna have to. They was gonna have to make some roster changes, like they also.
Oh yeah, 100%. That's what. Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Facts.
They was gonna have to get
Horace
somebody.
Grant still left. Horace Grant left.
Yeah.
Which caller left?
You think Horace Grant leaving if Jordan's still there?
Horace Grant didn't leave the first year. He left the next year.
Yeah, the next year.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If Jordan's still there in '94, you think like he leave?
If Jordan there in '94, they probably go back to the finals and potentially they could with Horace Grant, because
that's what I'm saying. You think?
Don't know.
That's a good question, School. I don't know, but I'm just taking that.
I don't know, like, because if they both
what happened,
he probably don't leave, right? If they both leave.
Yeah,
I say he probably don't.
Yeah,
that team could probably remain the same if Jordan's on there, because like most of those players, like we going to the finals and like we're competing every year. Why would I leave?
I 100% agree with that, School. They would have been fatigued. That's why I think they dropped the first one.
He was all defensive in '94 too.
Yeah, and Horace Grant is making a name for himself, so yeah, he probably definitely wouldn't leave.
He averaged a double that year.
The only way he'll leave is just like money wise, like.
Yeah, but then when he went to the Magic after that, and he started dropping more, like he started doing more. So I mean, it depends on if Horace Grant wanted a different role, because like Theo said that one time when we was talking about Looney, Kevon Looney, he was like, the two things is either does he want his money, or he got his championship already, does he want his money, or do he want to move on and go, or does he want to stay with Golden State and go and compete for more championships? I think that's the same question you asked for Horace Grant. Does he want to stay there and compete for more championships, or does he want to kind of go be his own man and make his money on his own team?
That makes sense.
Once you 3 rings in, and you was like, what? You could say he was like the 3rd best player on that team.
Yeah, but then he went to the Magic and became what? The 2nd best player on the team?
Yeah.
First option, somewhat.
No, he was not.
He became really good on the Magic.
He was not over Penny Hardaway or Shaq. Never. Never.
Well, he was still better on the team. That's what I'm saying.
He was the 3rd option.
He basically
played better as a 3rd option on the Magic than he did with the Bulls. Well, he produced more, is what I'm saying. He produced more.
And there was no dips in his game.
Right. He produced more in the Magic than he did with the Bulls. So I'm just saying he was in a better situation for himself to produce more and potentially down the road get himself more money. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
But last thing I want to talk about is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's comments on Kyrie Irving. His comments were, I want the whole quote, but give me a second. I want the whole quote. So he said, Kyrie would be dismissed as a comical buffoon if it weren't for his influence over young people who look up to athletes.
Oh,
When I look at some of the athletes who have used their status to actually improve society, Colin Kaepernick, LeBron James, Muhammad Ali, Bill Russell, Billie Jean King, Arthur Essel, I'm sorry if I'm not saying the name right, and more, it becomes clear how much Irvin has tarnished the reputation of all athletes who strive to be seen as more than dumb jocks.
Oh God.
Irvin doesn't not seem to have the capacity to change, but we have the capacity to keep fighting against his brand of destructive behavior. One way to do that beyond shaking heads and nasty tweets is to write to his sponsors and tell them to drop Irving or you will drop them.
That's wild, Kareem.
I mean, must I go on? I don't like. You get where he was going. Do you guys agree with him?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. There's no way. Oh my God.
We got people in school out of commission right now. But yeah, no, I think that's crazy. I think for some reason Kareem has been coming out saying some wild stuff lately. But
no,
yeah,
definitely that.
Yeah, that's wild. I mean, but now we're just getting bolder and bolder. People just saying stuff, that's wilder and wilder. I mean,
just to say, and it's just crazy because like
a buffoon, like
man,
a comical buffoon.
You trying to come
having
out
his own opinion
and
go to his sponsors, like that's crazy.
Yeah, like that's crazy.
Drop him or we drop you. Like, what kind of mentality is that? Like, why would you want to take money out the man's pocket?
Exactly. Like when you changed your name and decided to embrace the Muslim faith, like people didn't like you for that. Like people ridiculed you for that. What if they was like, oh yeah, go to his sponsors and drop him, and you know what I'm saying? Like that's how you sound. That's crazy, bro. What? And it's not like the 80s and 90s wasn't filled with drugs and hypersexuality.
I was about to say Charles Barkley threw a nigga through a window. Like,
come on, bro. Like,
you feel me? Like, what's going on?
A whole bunch of hypersexualism and drugs that was done in the NBA, and a lot of people act like it didn't happen, and everybody was just saints. Like, hell no. We remember when y'all used to catch fades on the right on the court. What are you talking about?
Nice. Yeah, that shit kind of wild, man. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. But that's Kareem, though.
That is Kareem. He been saying some wild shit lately.
What happened? I was getting some.
Kareem basically said that Kyrie would have been dismissed as a comical buffoon if he didn't have all these young people looking up to him because he's an athlete. And that we need to go to his sponsors and tell them to drop Kyrie or we drop them.
This is all because he didn't want to take a shot. That's crazy.
Damn. Relax, OG.
Let's be careful with that. Funny thing is, some people know, side note, I had a podcast before this called What's Up, Brother? And we did a small little segment on COVID. And that was probably like 8 months ago. Tell me why this morning I got an email talking about that video was taken down for misinformation 8 months later.
That sounds like a podcast for pro-blacks.
It was. It was. It wasn't pro-black, but it was just It was talking about the struggles of black people getting out of hood and actually doing something with their lives. And I had a guy who was a detective that I grew up with that came on. A couple of my friends that went to the army. Some entrepreneurs. Yeah, like some New Yorkers who's entrepreneurs. You know, it was just to get people to understand that there is a way you can make it out the hood. You just got to fight. But that's what that's about. So it was just shocking, you know, that even here we are, Kyrie's still dealing with it, and here we are, we still getting our videos taken down.
That's crazy.
You feel me? 8 months later, I tried to write back to him, but it's a non-responsive email.
Wow.
I literally laughed at them in the emails. I don't even use the channel no more. Like, 8 months later, like, I wonder how you stumbled upon that. Man, crazy. But yeah,
all over some basketball.
Kareem, crazy, bro.
This is over. Kyrie not wanting to take a shot. That's wild.
Yeah, I don't listen. Y'all know my stance on that. You ain't telling me what to do with my body.
Hey, school. Since you can make the argument that Paul George, you know, it's a debate that Paul George is already over Carmelo. Can't you do that for Giannis and Dirk?
Giannis and Dirk, 100%. I already got Giannis over Dirk.
Oh, okay. That's what's up.
You ain't even got
I thought you didn't like Giannis, school. I'm proud of you, man.
I got Giannis as the second.
I think it's too early for Giannis.
I got Giannis as the second greatest power forward already.
Go do that all NBA shit you was doing.
Already, I already got Giannis second all time at his position. Now it's gonna take some time for him to catch up to Tim. But
I think it's a little too early for Giannis, but I understand why people put Giannis that high.
A little too early.
I can understand.
Yeah. I don't really like ranking guys that still have years to play.
Yeah,
like LeBron is the only exception to that rule. Like, I don't rank Chris Paul.
What you mean? How's LeBron the only exception?
He's the only exception.
Paul George, he still got years to play.
But Melo's still playing. That's why.
Oh my God.
Melo is
that
done.
Man is done. His career is done.
He's done.
As of last year, Melo was active. That's what I'm going off. That's all I'm going off. He's active last year, and somebody could pick him up this year. He's still active.
Bro, nobody's going to talk about Carmelo Anthony in 2020.
Listen, I understand that. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is a guy who's on the roster is why I brought his name. I didn't bring up a guy name going against Paul George or whoever we was talking about. I remember that was already retired. I brung guy up that was still kind of playing so you can look at both of their careers because they're still active. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. You can still rank players over players.
No, you can rank players over players, yeah, but I just don't. And I'm not the only one that does that. It's a lot of us fans that don't like ranking current players, active players.
Yeah, I really don't like doing that either.
I don't. LeBron is the only exception because of the consensus for me. It's only because of the consensus. It's only because of the consensus that I rank that I do put LeBron on my top 10 list, but I don't have Steph Curry on there. I don't have KD on there. I don't even rank.
You don't have Steph Curry? Oh,
I don't rank those guys yet. I don't.
Only because Steph's not done playing yet.
He's not done playing.
Yeah, I know, but
I'm not gonna move him up my list and keep redoing my list every time he wins another championship. No.
At his position,
I can say
he can go is up.
No, 100%. 100%. But
he can't move nowhere but up. No matter what he does. And that's why I was ranking Giannis. I was ranking Giannis in his position.
Yeah, that's fine. You can rank him in their position, but when I rank Steph in his position, I'm ranking him currently in the position of current point guards.
So all-time point guards, you still even if then.
Yeah, I don't. Steph is not on my ranking yet.
Steph, what?
Yeah, he's not on my ranking yet. I don't understand how that's crazy. I don't understand why this is so shocking to you, school. Like he's an active basketball player.
Because it's nothing he can do to be moved
to you. To you.
What? Hold on. So who's your second?
I gotta you gotta let me now. I gotta go do the stuff.
No, I'm just asking. Who's your second greatest?
I gotta go do the stuff. I don't know. I gotta go do the stuff. I don't have off the top.
So you don't think Steph Curry is a top 75 player of all time?
Yeah, I could think he's a top 75, but we're talking about ranking players all time. I'm not ready to put him on the list of top 75. What I'm saying is I could think he's a top 75 player, but I'm not ready to put him on that list of top 75 because he's still active.
What?
I don't understand what's a what. Like, why is it so hard to understand that I don't like ranking active players? I don't care who it is. The only one that I gave the attention to is LeBron because of the consensus. That's it. Now all of a sudden the consensus is starting to turn with Curry being the top 10. LeBron has been consistently for the last 10 years the best player in the world to people. So consistently, and all the talk of this, I'm like, all right, the guy's probably going to finish up there. I'll just put him there to satisfy, so I don't have to argue with people when I give him my top 10 list and LeBron's not there. I can sit there and debate with a guy why I don't have Curry in my top 10 list yet. That's all I'm saying.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that, but you can't sit there and debate somebody and say
that position. He's probably the best at his position. I'm not saying that, School. I'm just saying that when he retires, I will then rank him the best at the position all time.
No, I'm not even saying. I don't even think he's the best at his
I don't think he's the best.
I'm just saying if he gets there in his career, when Steph Curry wins another ring, another Finals MVP, whatever he adds on to his season, his career, the total points and all that, that's what I'm going off of. That's where I'm going to rank him all time. When he finishes a career as a totality. That's why I said I can move LeBron around because his career isn't done yet. Even though he's 2, he's probably not going to go no higher on my list. I can still right now put Kareem. I can still right now put Kareem above LeBron on my top 10 list if I want.
But
if I also want, I can do what other people do and have LeBron 6th on my all-time list. That's what I'm saying. I don't want to keep doing that with everybody else.
No, that's the same thing I'm saying about Curry in the point guard. He can't move nowhere else but second. Like no other point guard ever on the history.
No, he has a chance to. He has a chance to surpass Magic.
Yeah, he has a chance to surpass Magic.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But just going off of that clutch, that's why I'm not going to.
But he has a chance to surpass Magic. But anything he does throughout his career, good or bad, like I feel as though Steph Curry misses the playoffs 5 years straight, he's still gonna be the second greatest point guard we ever see.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand that, but when he comes off the active players, I will rank him on my list. That's all. That's just
made number 10 for me.
That's for y'all. I don't knock y'all. I'm not judging. 10. I'm not judging nobody for putting Curry on their top 10 list.
I got Curry. I
don't put active. I don't like putting active players. Besides LeBron is the only active player in my top 10.
Give me Curry over Kobe. I'm sorry.
And Larry Bird is my goat.
Fade the black, school.
What you said?
Fade the black, man. Fade the black, G. You know?
I'm just saying, man. He's
yeah, we know what you're trying to say.
He over the Mamba, man. Sorry, it's official.
Sure.
Hey, as much as I'm a Warrior fan, I can't
over the Mamba,
man.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like I can't do that either. That's why I'm saying I can't rank him yet. That's why he's just not on the list because it's just like now I gotta go through all of this.
You just got in the top 10. Ain't no way you cracked the top 5 because Mamba top 5.
Then Kobe definitely top 5.
What?
Hello.
Top 5.
Yes, Kobe
easily.
No,
you already know I got
what he has done for the league.
He's not a top 5 player.
What he has done for the culture of basketball, definitely top 5.
Easily top 5.
Hell no.
Easily top 5.
He 3-peat. Okay, that bumps him. 5. Okay, that bumps him. In the era where you had another dynasty in the Spurs. Okay, yeah, that gets him. I think that gets him there. Kobe was a killer, bro.
No. See,
you cannot take away what he's doing.
Now you're just
cannot take away what Kobe did. You cannot take away what Kobe did for the NBA. I didn't. What are you talking about?
You just said 3-peat. You said 3-peat.
He was a part of a 3-peat that bumped him up. What are you talking about?
He wasn't even the best player on that team.
What does that matter? He
didn't need to be
part of that.
That does matter.
If Kobe's not on that team, school, do they 3-peat? No, they don't. So I don't want to hear whether he was the most important part or the second most important part.
And how wasn't he the most important part when Shaq didn't win one until he got Kobe?
And Shaq won one without Kobe. Like
he won one without Kobe. Kobe won 2 without Shaq.
And he been to the finals before Kobe. Like
Shaq,
that's true. Did he win? He didn't win.
Shaq was already a promising factor of a championship contending team.
He was, but he didn't win without Kobe.
But he didn't win without. He won his first.
Never. And Jordan didn't win without Pippen. But we're not about to sit here and say,
100%. 2 different situations, but 100%.
You losing that argument? So that's like me saying Michael Jordan his first title before LeBron. Yeah, you just said Shaq came in the league 5 years before Kobe, so opportunity was there for him. Yes, 100%.
Right. I never said opportunity wasn't.
No context, school. No context.
I'm not saying
what the context.
I'm not even saying. What the context at school?
I'm not even saying that. But even then, like even when Kobe wasn't even Kobe in 2000, they were still managed to win the championship. Kobe wasn't Kobe
You said
yet.
what?
Kobe wasn't Kobe. Kobe
He was
wasn't
still
Kobe
averaging
in
21
2000.
points. He was still averaging 21 points a game. He still was clearly a number 2 option.
And Shaq was clearly the best player in the league.
But what does that have to do with him contributing to a three-peat?
Wait.
Answer the question, School. If you take Kobe off that team and leave the team as constructed, do they win a three-peat? Yes or no?
No, because you're not
right. Because that means what that would mean is the importance to Kobe in that role of helping Shaq. I don't care who you pick there. You can put T-Mac there. They're not three-peating without Kobe. They're not.
They're definitely not. Definitely not.
You can put Reggie Miller there. They're not three-peating without Kobe.
They're not.
Whoa! If they put AI there, they're three-peating.
No, they're not.
You're sick.
No, they're not.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
I wish your faces was on so this could go on TikTok.
Absolutely not.
And I don't have to put great boxes.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, you down bad with that one, bro. Ain't no way.
How? If they put anybody that's on the same tier as Kobe at that time with Shaq, they're winning.
No.
Bro, no.
Yes.
Absolutely not.
Crazy.
No.
Yes.
Absolutely not.
No.
Crazy.
Yes.
No, they
absolutely not.
Not at all.
Why wasn't they?
Not at all.
School.
He definitely have Mamba mentality.
School.
He literally did. Hold on. We seen a guard do it with Shaq not even at the tail end of his prime.
Watch this. So in 9 playoff series against Western Conference teams, this Kobe and Shaq played 9 playoff.
9 series.
They played 12 series.
Yeah, 12 series. 12. Kobe outscored them in
5
of them, and Shaq outscored them in 4 series.
Yeah,
I remember that. It's off the top of my head.
Yes, in 4 trips to the finals. I mean, in the three trips to the finals, the 3-peat.
Okay.
He was a nightmare. He was a nightmare against the Spurs. Who was
that jump from 99 to 2000 was crazy.
Hold on. Y'all acting like I'm saying Kobe was bad. I've never said he was bad.
No, you're just not taking into the Kobe's importance to that 3-peat. Because I said Kobe 3-peat, so that will move him up some. And he was like, whoa. Just because he 3-peat, you're not doing any context. Now we're giving you the context of why it is important for Kobe to be on that team. And it's like, I'm not saying Kobe wasn't.
I never said Kobe wasn't important. I'm just saying it's a lot easier when you're playing with a guy in Shaquille O'Neal who at the time
we can say that about everybody. School.
Yes,
we can literally say that about everybody that's ever won a championship.
Yes, if you're playing next to the best player in the world, he was the best player in the world, and it was not questionable. Like from 2000 to 2003, Shaquille O'Neal.
Well, Shaq said Penny was better. Shaq said Penny was better than Kobe. So why couldn't Penny and Shaq 3-peat?
Because they didn't have that many years together. Shaq and Kobe played. Hold on. How many years? Hold on. How many years did Penny and Shaq?
They played 4 years before.
They played. They played 3 years. I'm looking at it
right now. And then they went to the finals in the third year. No,
they went to the finals the second year together.
Yeah, second year.
They went to the finals their second year together and made it to the Eastern Conference Finals their third year together. And they were dumb young. So what did Kobe and Shaq do there? What did Kobe and Shaq do for their first 3 years together?
They lost.
Like that's not equal. That's not an equal opportunity. That's not an equal opportunity when one duo played 8-9 years together and another duo played 3.
They still won the title in their 4th year. Kobe 4th year.
Okay, but they only played 3 years together. What?
Right.
If Shaq and Kobe won, if Kobe won in his 4th year, that would mean Shaq only played 3 years with Kobe before he won his first title.
No, Shaq and Kobe. They played 4 years together because when Kobe got drafted, Shaq came to the team.
There's no denying that Shaq was in his best form with.
Yeah, we're not denying that.
We're not going to deny
Shaq was
that.
the best player on the team. We can say he's number 1.
And you can say he was the best player in the world for
without
2 or 3
Kobe.
years.
I don't even think they went to.
But Kobe by year 2, that second title was a top 5 player, and then by year 3, Kobe was a top 3 player.
Easily.
Like School, the man
averaged 29.
Yeah, exactly, bro. What are we doing
in the playoffs?
Throughout the whole playoffs.
Not to mention he was leading in assists.
And I'm not saying Kobe wasn't great. You're acting like I'm not saying Kobe wasn't a top
No, we're
10
not
player.
acting like that.
Like
we're
I'm saying
not
he's
acting
not a
like that
top
at all.
5. I'm
We're
saying
just
Kobe
giving
Bryant
you
was not a
reasons
top
why.
5
And he
player.
was damn near the
And
best defensive player on that team.
Okay,
He
We're
was
telling
damn
you
near
why
winning
Kobe
steals.
was important to the three-peat, and
okay,
Shaq
and I
doesn't
can
get it with anybody else.
okay, and I can give reasons why he's not a top 5 player.
You can't give me
Hey,
no
No,
reason
you
why
can't give
he's
me
a
no
top
reasons
5
why
player.
Kobe's not
yes,
top
I
five.
can.
I'm
Nope.
sorry.
Okay, easily. I can give you easy reasons right here. First
Go
of
ahead.
all, in the beginning of his career, he was struggling with Shaq. I mean, I seen. Yeah,
Go ahead.
what you mean?
No, I thought you. I forgot what we was talking about. But go ahead. Do you think?
In the beginning of his career, him and Shaq wasn't looking promising. And then what happened? They grabbed Phil Jackson, and then all of a sudden they went and they get a three-peat. They went to 4 finals out of the 4 out of the last 5 in 5 years. They went to the finals. Okay,
Phil's a
and
goat.
then hold
Go
on.
ahead.
Okay, and then after that, they got tired. First of all, the team got not team, but the main priorities and Shaq and Phil Jackson got tired of Kobe shit, and that's a fact. Phil Jackson forced himself to, sit out a whole year because he was tired of that shit.
And then he brought his ass right back, right?
Because he wanted to win.
Right?
Hold on. I'm about to get to that. And Shaq
that makes no point because school. When you say Phil Jackson, you set it up. Oh, he got tired of that shit, but he brought his dumb ass back though, didn't he?
To deal with some more Kobe.
I'm not about to. I'm still not finished though. And like I said, Shaq went on to Miami, made the conference finals one year, won a ring with a D Wade, with a young guard and D Wade. And that was just,
I was gonna say, yeah,
exactly.
D-Wade averaged 36 in the finals.
And that's my point. A Shaq out of his prime can still have a good guard and still a young good guard and still win a ring.
Carried by his younger guard, you mean? Go ahead.
You got carried, bro. Like, are we really? You trying to? That's how you want to put it. You trying to put it in your context. Come on.
I was gonna say because Shaq definitely got carried to that
Kobe
finals.
Bryant has never won a title being anything less than a clear number 2.
I'm not saying that he did not get carried. What I'm saying is Shaq did help the team make a difference for them to win a title. The impact he brings to the floor just by him being a big dude who can just
What's some other big men in the league there?
Even it doesn't matter. He was still effective enough to help them win a ring.
I think you can substitute him out for somebody else. They can do the same. That's why I tell you.
I don't think you could have brought nobody in. Shaq was still like a top 2 center. Like he might have been the best center.
No, he could have still been the best center. But I'm talking about with the way Wade was going off and that you could have put somebody else.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying though.
That's
like,
what I'm
when we
saying.
talk about that. All right, but at the end of the day, Kobe still went on to go to another three-peat with a way significant less player than Shaq was.
I'm not done with it. Like I was saying, and when like I said, when Phil Jackson left and Shaq left, Kobe Bryant was by himself, missed the playoffs. Then the following year, grabbed Phil Jackson, blew a 3-1 lead. Then first of all, he couldn't get out the first round until they had to grab Paul Gasol. Then when he grabbed Park Saw, he had 08 MVP, and for that 3-year tenure, I would say he was the best player in the league. I would give Kobe that. And then after that, what happened in 2011? After winning back-to-back championships, you get swept. And then after that, that was just the downfall of Kobe. So in my opinion, Kobe only had 3. First of all, Kobe only had 3 years as the best player in the league. And then
when has Steph ever had one?
When has Steph ever had one?
I
would low-key. I would kind of
low key now. Low key. Low key.
Okay, I would high key.
You said okay.
I would high key consider this year probably he was the best player in the world.
Steph?
Okay. Yeah, I would consider Steph Curry the best player in the world this year.
Okay.
Moolah, you're a Warriors fan. You agree?
I'm still stuck on the bro.
Yeah, he said my brain ain't working right now.
Bro, oh my gosh, that's crazy.
Y'all believe Kobe is a top 5 player? That's crazy. He is not a top 5 player.
But that's a consensus, though.
You trying to put Steph over him is real crazy.
A lot of people think Kobe is not even top.
Yes, but if you do a poll,
a lot of people think he's bottom 5.
If you do a poll with 1,000 people. And 900 of those people are going to say he's top 5. 100
and nobody had.
That's cap.
70-30, whatever. 70-30 is 30.
What you just said may be true that if you did a poll, But if you did a poll right now, I guarantee you that Steph Curry is still not in the top 10 by most right now.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm not saying
So how I sound ridiculous? I'm in the top 5 and don't nobody even got Steph in the top 10.
Well, some people do.
I just don't agree with none of the stuff you said.
General,
none of you stuff you said like moves my needle of why Kobe isn't a top 5 player.
Yeah, because you just generalize it as, won a 3P as the second best player.
Hey, I just want you to know, your things off, but right up there is like that guy named Paul Pierce, so I'm not even a Kobe's fan. Not a Kobe's fan at all.
I never called you.
I'm not saying you are. I'm just saying I'm not a Kobe's fan, but I could give the guy the respect that he deserves to know that dude was like that.
I'm giving him the respect he deserved. He was a top 10 player. Like,
you have no argument that Steph Curry is better than Kobe Bryant. Like, no, zero argument. Like anything you can say, Kobe. Only thing you can say Steph definitely do better than Kobe is shoot three. That's it. That's it. Steph Curry's a better playoff performer than Kobe Bryant. Bro, you need to go to bed. All right.
You need to take what you
got going on.
We're talking about
going on.
Bro, we're talking about somebody who's every year he's touches the playoffs since 2015 has touched the finals. He has dominated the West every time he touches the playoffs. And even if you want to add context, it didn't matter what situation Steph Curry was in.
I would have loved to see Kobe team win a series without him. I would have loved to see this shit.
Me too, boo. I would have loved to see. I would have loved to see Shaq and I would have won a series without.
I'd love to see the Lakers, Pau Gasol beat a team by himself.
Yeah, I want to see Shaq. I want to see Shaq do it, boo. I don't want to give fuck Paul. I want to see Shaq beat the team without himself. Kobe go down for a series.
What they got to do with how great Steph Curry is in the playoffs?
That got a lot to do with it.
That's around him. First of all, Curry wouldn't get none of the stuff that he gets off if he did not have that system and those players around him. Get that one thing straight. Get that one thing straight.
Bro, nobody thinks that, bro.
Kobe.
No, you can say that about the 3P.
If Kobe doesn't have the Phil Jackson,
you can say that about the 3P, bro.
No.
Bro, no, we're talking about the players, bro.
You're talking about
they had 4 All-Stars for 3 straight years, bro. What are you doing, school? 4 All-Stars. You forget? Like the Warriors didn't have Kevin Durant, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, Steph Curry on the same roster.
At 23, Kobe was 5th in MVP voting.
And I agree with that. And I said, I specifically said, any situation. So you can take KD off, and he's proven that he can make the finals. And he's proven that 3 times. When KD got hurt,
but he has not proven to be the best player in back-to-back finals, though, school.
In 2015 and in 2020. He lost
the MVP, Finals MVP to Eagle $1.
Like,
couldn't put a stamp on it. He couldn't stamp it as the best player, as you're saying. He couldn't put a stamp on it and get a Finals MVP, his first Finals MVP. They gave it to Eagle $1.
That next year, Kobe received more MVP votes than Shaq.
What next year? What, the 04 season?
02, the 01-02 season, Kobe was 23. He was 5th in MVP voting.
The 01-02
The 01-02 season. That next season, 02-03, he was 3rd in MVP voting, above Shaq.
Yeah, and the team, and what did the Lakers do that year? The team was worse than what they were the previous years when Shaq was the best player. That's what I'm saying. The team got worse. Anytime Kobe was the best player, the team was worse than when Shaq was the best player. That's a fact. They were still good. Don't get me wrong, because yes, it's Kobe and Shaq. But the team was worse when Kobe was the man versus when Shaq was the man. The team could win a 3-peat with Shaq as the man. They couldn't win a ring with Kobe as the man. With Shaq, like during that time.
Yo, that's so funny because when people talk about that 3-peat, they talk about Kobe and Shaq being 1A, 1B, meaning when you say somebody's 1A, 1B, meaning both of them took the role.
Bro, Shaq was the best player in the league when they won that 3-peat. Don't try to bullshit that. Shaq was definitely. No, he's saying 1A, 1B.
Not what I said. I said the consensus. The consensus of people,
top 5 player though.
When you look at it, when you look at Shaq and Kobe, the consensus would tell you that there was 1A and 1B, meaning from what the consensus say, Shaq was better here, Kobe might could take the ring here. So if you have a fluctuation between that, meaning you don't have a clear guy that's going to be bang out there. Kobe can take over when he wants. Shaq will lead the team when he wants. It wasn't just Kobe. I could swear that in one of those playoffs, I think Kobe had 30 and Shaq had 29, or it was the other way around that they averaged on in the playoffs in the series. So what I'm saying is those guys were so close together, right? With the way that they played, that it doesn't matter if Shaq was the number one option on the team to go get a bucket. He was a force to fucking be reckoning with.
Yes,
who would not
Shaq
have him as a number one record.
And Shaq broke way. Let me choose my words nicely. Shaq brought more impact at a significant level more than what Kobe brought.
And you said that the team was worse. They lost 8 more games from 2001, 2002 to 2003, 2002 to 2003, and they still finished in second place both those years. So I don't see how the team got worse because they lost.
The team got worse because they were easily going to the finals those years.
They lost.
And what happened in 2003?
They
lost to the Spurs, who was Tim Duncan doing the carry job.
Who won the title?
They won the title that year.
Who won the title, bro?
Right, whoever. Okay. We can all agree throughout that time, whoever was coming out the West is most likely going to win the title. Yes, right or wrong?
Whoever was coming out the West was winning the title.
Obviously,
Yes.
I mean, at the end of the day,
what I'm saying is,
it wasn't like they lost to somebody before that. They lost to the niggas that won the title, so like that got all the low weight.
And I'm not saying it doesn't, but what I'm saying is, when Kobe was the best player, having a 1A, 1B, you're going against Tim Duncan, who obviously I got Tim Duncan over Kobe, in my opinion. I got Tim Duncan over Kobe. And like you have a guy on your team and y'all still lose. Now I'm not holding that shit. Like obviously Shaq holds fault to that. Both of them hold fault to it. But I still think Shaq is the more impactful player for when that dynasty happened with the Lakers for that first beat. What?
They were both. I would say they were both equally as impactful.
Cool.
Shaq was clearly the most impactful player.
I would say Shaq is the most impactful player. I wouldn't deny that. At the end of the day, what you fail to realize is that Shaq could have been the best player all 3 years. But again, I don't believe you could have added nobody else none of his contemporaries, other than you could say AI. I still think they get the one and don't win another one. That's how I feel. Kobe Bryant was a legit top 5 player.
All right, so this is what I'll do, School. And the first one, right? What is this? In the 90, the title run, the 99, 2000, I could say, all right, Shaq best player on the team. And 2000, 2001, Shaq 30 points, Kobe 29 points. Who's the best player on that team?
It was Shaq.
You fluctuate, right? You can fluctuate it, right?
No,
the next year, Shaq 28, Kobe 26. So when you're talking about two players, when I say 1A, 1B, that's what I mean.
Oh my God. Congratulations.
That is a 1A, 1B.
That's a 1A, 1B situation, bro.
You're clearly just reading stats. Like, you know, Shaq was the way more impactful player on that team.
Yes, I am. I said that.
The attention he brought to that team, the fact that, he can get the team in the bonus within the first 5 minutes of the game. Now the team is in foul trouble. They got to fluctuate their big man. And now we can go to the free throw line all willy-nilly, or we can go to the lane all willy-nilly because they're afraid to foul and send us to the free throw line. Because why? Shaquille O'Neal is causing havoc in that paint every time we give him the ball.
Yeah, but Kobe was also getting it done on the outside.
That was Shaq's job.
I'm not saying Kobe wasn't getting it done.
Was supposed to do.
Right, but he was supposed to do. But the thing about it, he was really getting it done. School, like if you would have, he was really getting it done. School.
Yes, I get it, and that's what makes Kobe a top 10 player of all time. That's what you're saying right there.
Shaquille O'Neal. Once you say your case you making, right, that Shaq was the most dominant player, clearly, by far. But once you say in that time, there's no way Kobe should be outscoring him in any series, if that's the case. Right? Any series, right?
I'm not going to say that because teams can because the first thing
who can stop Shaq?
because the first thing a team is going to do is try to game plan for Shaq.
And did it ever work?
Yes.
Shaq, but he just said they get him in foul trouble, send him to the line. I was gonna say you didn't want Shaq at the line.
There was no.
I'm the Lakers. I don't want Shaq shooting free throws unless he in the clutch.
You just did what you had to do, bro. There's no real game plan for Shaq at that time, bro.
No, it wasn't. It was a 1A, 1B situation. If you want to say Shaq was the one guy for 1A, then I'm cool with that. But Kobe was not far behind him.
Not to mention
then Kobe without him took, like Fuad said. Then without Shaq, Shaq goes on, wins one championship with a young, like you said, a young, top 5 shooting guard, whatever you want to call him. He wins a championship. Kobe then one-ups him with that, takes a less of version of the big man, and then goes and wins 2 more.
Okay. That still doesn't
and he was just 1A on that team. You just 1A on that team.
And you just skipped over the other reasons of why he's not a top 5 player. You just skipped over all that.
Because those are not reasons why he's not a top 5 player.
You just skipped over the fact that the following year he misses the playoffs. You just skipped over the fact that he blew a 3-1 lead. You just skipped over the fact that
who was better off when Shaq left? When Shaq left the Lakers, what team was better off? Miami or the Lakers?
Miami was better.
Okay, so who did Shaq have? Well, who did Kobe have when Shaq left? Who did they replace Shaq?
Why are you mentioning?
Who did they replace Shaq with? Who did they replace Shaq?
You're getting off topic.
No, I'm not. Because you're saying
I'm not trying to make
saying
this
the context is you're saying no school. You're saying that Kobe did not make the playoffs the next year. What was his team looking like that he did not make the playoffs to what Shaq team was looking like?
Bro, I'm not comparing.
Did Kobe Shaq? So when Shaq went to the Heat, because my point is, when Shaq went to the Heat, he still had a comparable guy to help him win a championship. When Shaq left the Lakers, Kobe did not have a comparable guy to help him get back to a finals. That's what I'm saying. So when you bring up the in between, the reason why it does not make him a top 5 player, the reason why I would not count in not making him a top 5 player is because who did you replace Kobe with? What help did he have? No great goes through this game without help. That's the number one thing. You gotta have help.
So no great can make the playoffs without help.
No, I said get back to the finals. Listen to what I said.
Didn't say get back to the finals.
I said. I didn't say you.
So why are you mentioning something? Why are you trying to tell me?
Because Kobe went from. Because Kobe. You're not listening, school. Kobe went from the finals. You said no. Because you're not listening to me. You said I'm forgetting the in between when Kobe did not make the playoffs. Right. What I'm saying is Kobe went from a finals, being in the finals, to not making the playoffs. Why? Because he did not have an adequate team to get him there. Whereas in Shaq could make it to an Eastern Conference Finals. Shaq could make it to an Eastern Conference Finals, right? Because he had an adequate.
We're talking about Kobe.
The whole conversation that we've been having for the last 15, 20 minutes, school, has been about Shaq and Kobe. I don't know why you're separating the two now. I don't understand it. I don't understand it at all.
Because you said after Shaq left and Kobe went to go.
I said, so I'm going to repeat myself. I said after Shaq left, Shaq went to the Heat with a comparable piece. That's how I started the whole thing. So this shows me that, okay, I'm about to go on YouTube and I'm going to rewind it, and you're going to feel stupid, school, because that's exactly how I started my sentence. That's exactly how I started. I said when Shaq left, Shaq went to the Heat. He still had a comparable shooting guard, top 5 shooting guard. And if you want to call the way that when Shaq left Kobe, what did Kobe have? That's what the first question I asked you when I started my soliloquy. That's the first thing that I said.
You didn't, because I interrupted you and I said
you did not.
Just forget. Because you just said, yo.
That was after I said that, school. That's how I know you're not listening to me. That was way after I said that.
Okay, anyway, like we were saying, and you were forgetting the middle part before.
I'm not forgetting the middle part because I'm only counting when Kobe gets back to having a comparable team to get there. That's what I'm talking about. Because Shaq went from having a comparable team to having a comparable team. Kobe went from having a comparable team to not having a comparable team to get to a playoffs.
Kobe wasn't good enough to lead a team to the playoffs.
Oh, that's your opinion. That is not mine. You need help to get there. You need help. Just like you guys say in 2000,
so we haven't seen.
Like you guys say in 2007, LeBron had the help. Yes, the hell he did.
We never seen great players with little help make the playoffs.
No, I'm not saying that does not happen, but I'm not going to sit here and say every great player must make the playoffs without help. I'm not going to hold it against a guy when he does not.
Somebody you consider top 5 all time can't make the playoffs without minimum help.
With no help, what did he have the next year? If Shaq went to somewhere and was in the same predicament as Kobe when Shaq probably don't make the playoffs either. If he does not have a comparable point guard or
we're not talking about
whatever
probably.
You want to talk.
We're not talking probably. We're talking reality.
So, right. In reality, what was the teams looking like for Shaq to have success after Kobe and Kobe have to wait to have success after Shaq?
Bro, the following year they made the playoffs. You know why? Because you know who came back? The head coach that he always needed.
And who else was on that team?
Bush Parker and Kwame Brown.
Andrew Bynum.
Thank you.
Andrew, oh my God!
It wasn't. This man. D-Fish wasn't there. None of those guys were there. What year is this? Because I know I'm not a fool. I know I'm not a fool.
Andrew Bynum in 2006.
2006.
Ricky Bynum started 0 games, averaged 1.6 points. If you don't get out my face, what are you talking about?
Lamar Odom, okay.
You know what changed? The coaching.
And they still went to the playoffs.
And I said they went to the playoffs. You know why? Because the coaching changed. Phil Jackson came back. Yeah. I don't like to mention that. Like, you know, Kobe's success has a lot to do with Phil Jackson.
Not all the pieces that they moved around to from one year to the next too, right? From 2004 to 2005 to 2005, 2006, there's I see two different, almost completely different rosters, bro, without a few names.
Bro, how good was that Lakers roster in 06, bro? Come on, let's be real.
I'm not saying it was. Not
that
saying
shit was minimum. It was
Lamar,
minimum
15 points. Smush Parker, 12 points. Chris Mullin, 10 points. Like, no, it ain't no, oh my God. That's what? 35. That's 50, 62, 70. That's almost 70 points from 4 players.
And this was in what year?
That's the 06.
Okay. This was 05. Kobe, 27. Lamar.
Oh, wait. 15. Yeah. 15, 13.
Lamar, 15. Caron Butler.
Oh, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that like Caron Butler wasn't that, that role player and doing that thing like that. Stop it, school. If he had Kawhi Butler this next year, maybe they win 3 more games and they got a 60. What did they win? 47? They win 45 the next year. So they went from 30. They won 6 more games the next year. I think 11.
In the 04-05 season,
I had to check the stats. I was wrong there. He had a little bit more. He had guys in the year before score a little bit more points.
Like
you are right there. That's my mistake. That's my mistake. But Phil Jackson, I will give you that. Phil Jackson is a big reason of why Kobe could have turned things around because he knows how to utilize Kobe already, right? He knows what Kobe needs already. He knows what he needs, right? So you use the pieces around you that you got. I'm not saying Kobe wasn't good enough. I think you're wilding with Kobe wasn't good enough, bro.
So why didn't they make the playoffs then?
Because their coaches, multiple, were trash.
But Kobe should be good enough to overcome that if he's a top 5 player all time.
I don't know anybody that's good enough to.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know anybody that's overcoming it. I don't know anybody.
I know anybody that's good enough to overcome trash coaching.
So Rudy Tomjanovich, I don't know how to pronounce his last name. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Was a bad coach.
Have you heard of him getting another job since?
He went 24-19. I don't know if that's a good coach.
Have you heard of him getting another job since after that?
You do know that's the same coach that
Rudy was a
Hakeem,
90s
right?
coach, though, school. Like, he was a 90s coach. And stop it. Come on. Like, the game had changed. The game changed.
That's the same coach with Hakeem. That's a top 15 coach all time.
Yeah, but the game had changed, bro. Like he wasn't a coach that was made for the 2000s. And again, people love to give Phil Jackson credit for everything, bro. Like, let's not act like, bro, you're giving him too much credit, bro.
In the 2000s,
you're giving him too much credit.
This coach that you just named from 99 2000, 34 wins, 45 wins, 28 wins, 43 wins, 24 wins with the Lakers. But yeah, he was a good coach going up to coaching that Lakers
Who
team.
are you talking about?
That Rudy, whatever his damn name is. That's what his coaching record is going into the Lakers season. The Lakers season was 43 wins. The year before that, 24 wins as a coach, 24-19 the Lakers season. And then he was in Houston before that, 43 and 39, 28 and 54, 45 and 37, 34 and 48, 31 and 19, that's 98, 99 was like, I don't understand, like, yeah, I get what you're saying about Phil Jackson. You're 100% right.
Oh my God!
But yeah, I'm not going to say and take that as Kobe wasn't that good of a player.
Kobe shouldn't be that good of a player to will a team to a playoff, even an AFC. You just said he had more help that year than the year in 06. Should have like you can't just say he's a top 5 player. But then I hold him to the standard of him being a top 5 player on time. So now the top 5 player has excuses of missing the playoffs.
Sorry.
Player has excuses of missing the playoffs, blowing a 3-1 lead, couldn't get out the first round until he got.
Oh yeah, I missed your 3-1 lead point. He was the only one on that team that blew that 3. I forget. We only hold individual stats against players when we want to, but anytime else we hold something against them, it's always not. It's a team sport. All right, so in Kobe's in his division that year, right? Just in the division, not even touching the
he sold the team out Game 7, right?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, he didn't take a shot. I know. Yeah, but just in Kobe's in 06, Kobe's Pacific Division, Phoenix Suns and the Clippers. Was that Laker team better than any of them?
Suns and the Clippers in what?
The Phoenix Suns and the Clippers in 06, 05, 06. Was the Lakers better than them?
Obviously, no, because of the results.
So that's not even touching the top of the top, right? Because you still got San Antonio who finished 63-19. You got the Mavs who finished 60-22. You then got the Suns who finished 54-28. You then go Clippers 47-35. Memphis Grizzlies 49-33. Like
what year are you talking about?
This 06, 05, 06, the year that that Phil Jackson came back and Kobe went to the playoffs. I'm just saying all these teams, what I'm saying in school is, and when we're looking at Kobe, right, and we're saying that, he didn't go to the playoffs because, he couldn't carry them or he couldn't get them there, right? But we don't take in an aspect what's around him. So the year before that, when he didn't get into the playoffs, Phoenix, 62 wins. Sacramento Kings, 50 wins. The Supersonics, 52 wins. Denver Nuggets, 49 wins. San Antonio, 59 wins. The Dallas Mavericks, 58 wins. The Houston Rockets, 51 wins.
A top 5 player should impact his team to the significant level of having at least 44 wins. I've seen Jokic this year literally just do that. I've even fucking seen, I don't even like to say his name, I've even seen Russell Westbrook do that. So, like, why is it
Russ ain't going to argue with you.
Well, so why is it hard for me to just ask for a top 5 player in y'all eyes to do that for a year? No,
because I'm not going to take that one year that he missed the playoffs and be like, all
I don't know, not one.
No, I'm not taking just that one.
Do that
I never took
coaches.
just that 1 year.
But I'm talking about just him missing the playoffs. You're saying that, and what we're talking about, the space that we're talking in, when I said that Kobe then went and got Gasol, and he went got Gasol and then won 2 more, you're saying I'm missing the part because he missed the playoffs. So what I'm saying is, why would I then look at that, okay, Kobe missed the playoffs, so I got to hold that against him because he missed the playoffs, but the nigga bounced back and went to 2 more, to another 3-peat and won 2 of them, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, and that's why he's a top 10.
Yeah, in your eyes, school, I'm not disputing that. I'm not disputing that. But to us, he's a top 5 player. That's what you're disputing.
Yes, because he hasn't showed top 5 player qualities for me to say, yo, he's up there with Magic. Like even this. I forgot to even mention this. This man played 20 years in the league, and he only has 1 MVP. There's no way in hell you're a top 5 player, and you can only have 1 MVP on your resume. I'm sorry.
So you really think Steve Nash deserved that MVP over Kobe Bryant?
Yes. What year are you talking about? What year are you talking about?
The year that Kobe averaged what was 30 something, 32?
Because if you saying 04, 05, yes, he definitely deserved it because Kobe didn't sniff the playoffs.
Absolutely.
And Kobe didn't touch the playoffs. How the fuck was he gonna get MVP?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
So you think Kobe should have won MVP missing the playoffs? Is that
No, I think if you're talking about the second year, I think there's other people you could have gave it to than Steve Nash.
Second year.
Like
I said, for Steve Nash, I'm not.
The first one, I'm giving it to him. He led his team to the best record in the league.
And then even in the second one, he missed it. Even in the second one, the context of it is he's missing 3 starters. Amari is out.
Joe Johnson, no, 100%. He still got him to I think a 4th seed or something like that.
He got him to a 3rd seed.
Yeah, it was 3rd or 4th. Yeah, something like that.
So even then, even then, if you don't want to say he didn't deserve it, he showed that he deserved it in the series versus Kobe.
Steve Nash would like that versus the Lakers. I don't dispute that, but I'm still not. Nothing you said still convinced me or makes me even think about why Kobe isn't the top 5 player.
I'm not saying that.
To say somebody with 1 MVP in 20 years.
Well, who won the MVPs over him though? Who won MVPs over him? And you can't say in 20 years because now we're talking about the back end of Kobe's career when he dealt with a lot of injuries.
So what years?
So take those years out. So
give me a time span. Give me a time span. Give me a time span.
No, you give me a time span. You don't want to say 20 years. I'm just saying you can't count the ladder of his years when he was injured and he wasn't really playing and he wasn't competing for nothing.
That's what I'm saying. But I know you don't want me to count the beginning of his career. So that's what I'm asking you. Can you just give me a time span?
You count it.
Of how
you tell me whenever he was in his prime. Go from his prime to what? You want to go from 2000?
We can start from 2000 to 2011. How about that? He wasn't winning it over Shaq. He wasn't winning it over AI. He wasn't winning it over Duncan. He wasn't. Hold on. 03 was Duncan. Was 04 Duncan? No, 02 was Duncan. He wasn't winning over Duncan in 02. He wasn't winning over Duncan in 03. He wasn't winning it over
Kevin Garnett in 04.
He wasn't winning it.
Steve.
He wasn't winning it over Steve in both years. He wasn't winning it over. He wasn't winning it over Dirk in that year.
Dirk.
He won
it in 8.
He won in 08. He wasn't winning over.
Then LeBron, D-Rose, LeBron, Kevin Durant, Steph.
He wasn't winning. He wasn't winning over those dudes.
I still give him that one over Steve Nash.
The only thing I would give you, School, is in the span of when Steve Nash won his first one to when Dirk won his, Kobe should have got another one somewhere in that. But I'm not going to sit here and be like he never won another MVP where LeBron, D-Rose, LeBron is the next 5 after he won his first one.
You got to be better. Like, what you mean?
Okay.
Like I said, you can't hold somebody to a standard, but then say, "Oh, he was going up against these." No, you got to hold him to that standard.
I'm just talking about MVP votes. I'm not talking about anything or just MVP votes. I'm not expecting Kobe to go against after. I agree with you. The Steve Nash, Dirk, he should have won another one somewhere in there. Even if you want to say the KG or the Tim Duncan ones, but Tim, he's not winning one over Tim. AI was spectacular that year that they beat AI and them in the finals. And then you're right, he wasn't getting it over Shaq in 2000. So I don't see. So when we're talking about he didn't get another MVP, we have to look at the legitimacy of what MVPs he could actually have gotten, right? With the level he was playing at wasn't like he was playing so much below these guys, right? He was still up there with these guys, but then you also got to think who's voting on the MVPs. What did LeBron do in 2008 and 2009 to make him get back-to-back? D-Rose had a killer fucking season that everybody was on his jock that season while he got MVP, and LeBron comes back with 2 more. That's hard to be like, all right, Kobe, you need to get in there and get one of those when LeBron is being dubbed the next king of basketball. LeBron in that span is being dubbed the king of basketball school. That goes away. Perception in the media goes a long way. So you got this guy that's coming in out of high school. That's a beast. So people are going to want to vote this guy an MVP. Look what he's doing with this trash ass team. I get you.
I'm telling you,
LeBron is that freaking ninja. I get you, but tell me in one of those 5 after that, like I said, I'm not going to debate you with the Kevin Garnett, the Steve Dirk, but tell me where LeBron, Derek, LeBron, Kobe should have won one of those.
I'm not saying he should have. That's my reasoning for him not being there. Like that's legit my reason because he wasn't good enough to even be in those type of conversations.
I was on another page.
Who wasn't good enough to be in a conversation?
Look,
Kobe.
look, watch this.
During that time span, Kobe. Do you think Kobe Bryant and from 2011? What you say?
No, what you say?
No. What years did you say?
No, you said the years.
No, Troy.
Obviously, the next 5 years after he won his.
Oh, the 5 years. So it's
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, it's 2008, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13.
2008 he won. 2008 he won. 2009 he came in second. 2010. I think he was third. I forget what he was in 2010.
If he's
but he was in the conversation,
bro, I'm
so you acting like it's
I'm
not
right
nothing.
off the bus, bro. I
You
got
acting like it's nothing.
And don't even close the door. Just drive off.
2009, 2010, he was third.
Just
don't
drive
matter.
He was third. He was third, right?
2010, 2011, he was
five.
Now,
fourth.
his whole argument is basically because Kobe Bryant missed the playoffs.
When he didn't.
No, that's not even my whole argument.
He had some help. He had two guys scored 15.
That was just a.
That's why he
that
can't be a
wasn't my
top
whole
5.
argument.
I was
That
wrong
was
about
just
that. I'll say it
That's
again.
what you
That
started
was
with,
just a-
2012, 2011, 2012, he was fourth.
That was just a checkpoint we started at. Like, I can mention other things. Like
No, just like I was doing. You telling me I was going on top.
But why not mention the
2012,
real things of
2013, he was
substance?
fifth. Come on, what are we
LeBron
talking
missed the
about
playoffs in his peak.
Bro.
Kareem missed the playoffs in his peak. Like people missed the playoffs. They still in your top 5.
100%.
You said Kareem. Okay, and Kareem also has what, like 6 MVPs?
Right.
Who was opposing him?
Like, huh?
Exactly.
Who was opposing him?
I mean, that was just in his era. He can't help when he was born.
Context. We're not talking about it. We're talking about in his era. We're putting the context in his era. School in his era. Who was opposing him?
And even then, in the 80s,
you said what? He won 1 MVP in the 80s. Yeah, he won 1 in the 80s.
1 MVP and won 5 finals and 1 finals MVP, and was still a top 3 player in the league.
Okay.
You can say top 5.
Kobe won an MVP in the 2000s. Kobe won 5 titles in the 2000s. Kobe won 2 finals MVPs.
Did he win 6 MVPs?
No, because he didn't play in a watered down ass era like that. He played in one of the best eras. Like no, let's just keep it in context.
I'm off the bus, bro.
Okay.
Keep the context. You don't want to put the context when they don't favor your argument.
Okay. No. Because even in one of the best eras, I've seen players of one of the best win more than fucking 1 MVP. I.e. LeBron James, i.e. Steph Curry,
LeBron was the best player in the world. I.e.
Giannis.
He was going to win more than 1 MVP.
I.e. Tim Duncan. Like, I've still seen players win multiple MVPs.
So the year that Steve Nash won in 05 or 06.
I.e. Steve Nash.
The year that Steve Nash won 05, 06, he averaged 18 and 10. Kobe averaged 35. Now, hold that thought, because I want to bring up something real quick. The year that Kobe won in 07, 08, he averaged 28. Chris Paul averaged 21 and 11. Why didn't they give it to Chris Paul?
Because the fact it was a real close tight race at that time, and the Lakers were what, the 1 seed and the what's called was the 2 seed at that time? Am I correct? Wasn't the Hornets the 2 seed or top 3 seed or something like that? They were top seeded team. The difference is that if Kobe and the Lakers were easily probably the number 1 seed, Kobe undisputedly goes and wins that MVP. That's the difference between those 2 seasons. The Lakers were the 7th seed that year, and the Lakers were the 1st seed the year he won MVP. That's the difference.
So why did Steve win it when he was the 3rd seed?
Steve won
the 1st seed?
No,
Tim
because of the fact
that year.
No, because of the fact that he lost 3 starters and the fact that he still
but Tim also. But see that I get it, right?
None of that matters.
I totally understand it. But Tim Duncan went off that year with what he was given, and just because a guy loses 3 of his starters and he gets them to a 3rd, and I get it. Jokic did the same thing. Jokic gets 6th seed, he gets the MVP. Westbrook 6th seed, he gets the MVP. So I understand the anomaly is there that happens, right? But we cannot hold that anomaly against a player. That's what I just don't like about this conversation. It's like we're holding anomalies where players like Steve Nash got back-to-back when Kobe should have been in the argument. But because Steve Nash didn't have 3 of his players, pity gave him an MVP when Tim Duncan could have got it that year.
Man.
Dirk could have got it that year.
Pity gave him because they said, "Yo, you're missing 3 of your starters."
No, that's a pity.
That's not pity because he still managed to impact the team to a significant level of getting them to a top 3 seed.
That's a pity.
That's not pity. He earned that. He literally played.
The first year, give it to you. The second year, no.
I'm gonna say the second year, no, when he was still the most impactful player on that team.
I don't think
so. What's Chris Paul on his team? And he led his team to the playoffs.
So what is Tim Duncan on his team getting his team to the number 1 seed? Is not impactful.
And
that's not
why
impactful.
didn't they give him that?
I'm not saying that. But when you are missing teammates, missing starters actually, and your second best player on your team, and Amari Stoudemire, who was easily a top 15 player at that time. When you're missing that, you manage to win that significant amount of games and get to the 3rd seed. That plays a factor versus you scoring 37 and getting to a 7th seed. That's the difference. And if you want to,
I'm not even saying give it to Kobe at 17. I'm talking about Tim Duncan led his team to a number 1 seed. Dirk was in that conversation with the stats and the placing. I think he was top 4. Like there's other guys you can make an argument for in that second year. Had a lot of impact, just like Steve Nash did. Yeah, I get it. You are right. Him losing those 3 key players went into a lot into why he got the MVP, and that's why I say it's a pity one because they're looking like, okay, he didn't have these players. He still was able to get this, but who stepped up in their place though? Because Steve Nash led it, but who stepped up in those guys' place? Who stepped up in their place?
Boris Diaw and
what year was it again? The second year, 06, what was it? 05, 06?
05, 06.
Yep, 05,
and
06.
I'm not even saying you're wrong for wanting to take those players. I'll take LeBron in 06 in the MVP voting over.
Oh, that's Kobe. Another guy. I had it written down on paper. LeBron too could have won that year.
And I'm not mad at that. But Kobe? No,
I'm not saying Kobe should have won because you're right. Kobe finished too low.
Why is that so outlandish?
He finished too low in the standings. He finished.
I agree. 7, because we make the argument that Westbrook should have never got it and Jokic should have never got this shit because they finished 6th. That argument is out. That narrative is out. So I can agree with Screw there
I
when
can
he's saying that,
but I don't agree with it. I can understand it. I don't agree with it though, because if you balling and your team ass, there's nothing you can do about that.
No, 100%. I agree there too. And that's why I'm not holding the year Kobe did not make the playoffs. Because there were teams better than him, constructively better than him.
Better than him. He did what he had to do.
2 guys scoring 15. I was wrong about that. I said it for the 3rd time. I can take my accountability. But let's not act like, it wasn't what it was. All right, so
exactly. I'm just saying he 35. So, Mans was doing. He was
I just want you to have a glimpse of the second time 18.8 and 10.5 assists is what Steve Nash averaged 0506. Yeah. Shawn Marion, 21 points, 11 rebounds. Well, you can call it 22 points and 12 rebounds. Raja Bell, 15 points, 3 assists. Boris Diaw, 13.3 points, 7 rebounds. Larry Barbosa, 13 points, 3 assists. And then Tim Thomas, 11 points and 5 rebounds. That's not counting none of the 3 guys that he lost, I hope. 50 games. Kurt Thomas played he played 20. No, even Tim Thomas missed games, so 20 played 26. Shawn Marion played 81. Raja Bell 79. Boris Diaw 81. Steve Nash played 79. Larry Barbosa played 57. So they had injuries all over the team. I will give you that. But a lot of these guys stepped up in replacement to get the production that you would get out of Amari Stoudemire and the other guys.
Steve Nash made it easier for them.
100%. I will not take that away from them. That's why I can understand what you're saying there. The impact, right? But I'm not going to say that beats Tim Duncan getting his team to 63 wins that year. Dirk Nowitzki getting his team to 60 wins that year. That has to count too for something like that. What is their impact? Nothing of winning that many games.
I'm not saying that you're wrong.
You broke up, School. I can't hear you.
don't care about. If you want to say Tim,
School, you got to start over because you broke up. We ain't hear nothing you said.
I broke up. You can't hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
I said I don't care. I don't care if you want to mention Tim, Dirk, Bron that year. You can say those dudes probably deserve to win MVP over him.
Yeah, but just not Kobe. I get you.
Yeah, that was the topic, not Kobe.
Is it for the simple reason that his team didn't make playoffs?
No, not in 05. No, his team did make the playoffs.
Yeah, he finished 7th.
Yeah, they finished the 7th seed. They did make the playoffs.
Yeah,
and I'm not saying Kobe wasn't great. What I'm saying is Kobe wasn't doing nothing. Kobe wasn't doing nothing that we've just never seen before. Like we've seen players score a lot of points and barely make the playoffs. Like AI was doing that. Bradley Beal did that. What are you talking about? The year he averaged 35, AI averaged 33.
But I'm not putting those guys in the same conversation. Maybe AI.
It's not just what Kobe was doing. He wasn't just scoring a lot of points. That's the thing.
What was he? What else was he doing? Playing elite defense. Okay. What else?
Both sides of the ball.
How you just gonna gloss over that?
He just missed it. Like, nah, that ain't shit.
Because I'm saying like nothing he was really doing impacted that team to a significant level.
It was a significantly bad team, Scoop.
Yeah, I don't understand how one player can influence a significantly bad team like that. LeBron can't even do that.
Yeah, and Steve Nash's team wasn't bad. You can't say that Steve Nash had a bad team, even losing those 2 players he lost. He still had a decent roster.
I mean, he still took that same team to the next year after whatever, because it was basically the same year from 04 to 05. The year Shaq left, he missed the playoffs. The next 2 years, he went to the playoffs.
Yes, and I also accounted.
He also was hurt for 6 years. He missed 18 games that year.
He sucked his teeth.
04, 05. He missed 68 games. He missed 18 games. I think he played 64 or 65 games, something like that.
He played 65. What was his average? He averaged like 70-something games a year.
Yeah, but he was hurt, and then for the most part, all I'm saying, like he was hurt, and that was a significantly worse team.
I don't think that team would have made the playoffs regardless if he was playing or not, because Kobe wasn't like just Kobe as that team like that team was not really good. Kobe wasn't bringing nothing to the table to make that team over the top to the playoffs, like. And then the next year, like I said, they got their coach back. They got Phil Jackson back, and that's what helped them get. Because the roster, you can say the 20.
No, they moved some players around too. They didn't have the same exact roster. They
had the same exact roster.
Wasn't no key pieces, but
players got better, school man. No matter what you say, players got better.
Listen,
I don't know not one star player that can operate with.
Yeah, I want to name. You put LeBron there. I don't think LeBron get to the playoffs. Like you can say the 07 team. But he had help in that.
With a coaching switch in the middle of the season?
Oh my! Bro, you did. LeBron won the finals with a coaching switch in the middle of the goddamn season.
No, he didn't. No, he did.
Yes, he did. In 2016, they switched coaches. What are you talking about?
Right, I'm tripping. You right. No, they didn't. Yeah, they fired David Black in the middle of the season.
You can say in 2016, LeBron won a ring without a top 75 player and switched coaches.
Would you really say that's a coaching switch? Because I think LeBron knew that David Black was coming.
You could say Kobe Bryant did that. Back to back.
Yes, you can.
Back to back.
Yes, you can.
Okay, then.
Yes, you can. I'm not saying, and that's what makes Kobe a top 10 player.
Top 5.
That's what legit makes him. I'm not saying, everything that made Kobe great and that y'all like to say makes him top 10. Top 5? No.
That's to you though. That's okay.
Yeah, I mean, to
a lot of people.
Top 5.
Top 5 is
top 5 is you got to be. It's a certain standard that you got to be top 5, dog.
Whatever your standard is, it's not mine. But.
It's not mine. I'm breaking up again.
Sorry, you just can't.
Yeah, school tripping right now.
And
just because he got one MVP like that, I don't think that defines him not being in the top 5 player. Like you gotta take in, all right, does his impact of what he did for basketball pick up for him not having MVPs? Does the Black Mamba, what he did to kids and the influence he has on young children wanting to play ball with, does that affect. Yes, it does. Like everything that he does basketball wise affects his placement. Yes, everything that you do basketball wise affects your placement all time. So don't bring the kids into it. I'm sorry, School. Look, we gotta go. Final thoughts, man. Final thoughts, School. We gotta get out of here. I could do this all night, but we going on 3 hours, and I'm not sitting here 3 hours.
Basketball, Steph Curry is 100% up there by far. If we're talking influence on basketball, that shit is not even close.
I said it goes into it.
Yeah, we gotta come back to that that coaching point.
I'm saying if we're measuring that, Curry is up there by far because what he did to the game, he changed it.
I'm gonna say to you, like you said to me, what Curry got to do with this conversation? We talking about Kobe.
Because my initial statement was Curry over Kobe.
No, that's not what we was talking about. We was talking about Shaq and Kobe being together, who was 1A. That conversation about Steph Curry moved on from that to Shaq and Kobe and how Kobe wasn't a top 5 player. That's how the conversation progressed. But to each his own. I'm not mad at your School. I'm not at all, but I don't agree. I think Kobe is a top 5 player, and that's coming from a Boston Celtics fan. That's coming from Larry Legend. You don't even want to know what he just said to me when I said Kobe's top 5 player. You
gotta start smoking what you smoking, man. I'm just saying.
I gotta keep smoking what I'm smoking.
Hello,
to you, School.
Just picked up a new jar of it.
Like you feel me? Gotta keep smoking when I'm smoking. Talking to you, School.
Return that shit back.
Never.
You need to go get some new shit, School. Whatever you smoking, nigga, that's what they were smoking in 1987.
Man, you might want to tap in because I got that greatness.
You feel me? Like 2 pulls, nigga. I'm fucking on cloud 9, nigga.
Yeah, hello.
2 pulls. Y'all gonna be wet. Never mind. Let me stop.
Kobe about to come to you, School. I feel bad for you. Kobe about to come to you in your dreams tonight. Like, say that shit to my face. Say it to my face, nigga. Say top 5 to my face. He gonna fuck you up in your dreams. You get your ass beat
just like him.
What happened?
I said I'm from Philly, just like him.
Yeah, y'all gonna scrap. Kobe gonna beat that ass, bro. Kobe coming to get your ass tonight. About to beat that ass.
It is what it is at this point, man. The man.
No, I'm not mad at it because the only reason this is the last thing. This is my final thoughts. Is I'm not mad at it, School. It's because somebody said something. And I think it was SB. You can't really argue a dude when it comes to his top 10 because it's all preference. It's all preference and all opinion. Is what it is. It's all preference and all opinion. If I had it my way, which I got to redo my top 10, Larry Bird got to go up. LeBron got to come down.
I can argue somebody top 10 if it sounds ridiculous to me. And I think Kobe's top 5 is ridiculous.
I mean, I'm not mad at it, but final thoughts. Let's get out of here. We're at 2:30. I'm trying, have a good night. Final thoughts, movie.
For that long? God.
Yeah, we've been here for 2:30, bro.
2:30, man.
It don't feel like it when you end the conversation and the conversation is good. I appreciate you guys giving good conversations because if not, I would have been over here like, let's get up out of here. Show's a wrap. But nah, it's a good conversation. I don't mind. I get to pick your brain, School. You're not. You're willing to open up and answer questions that nobody asks you about your logic and how you think about things. And that's the greatest thing about a debate is sharing each other's opinions. We don't always have to agree. We don't always have to see eye to eye. It's the reason I started this show. I wanted people to disagree. I want the heated debates. And I appreciate every time you come up here, you come with some spice, bro. Just keep doing your thing. Keep bringing it. I appreciate you being here tonight. Thank you for stopping by. Anybody else final thoughts? Go ahead, get your shit out the way.
Follow the sports TikTok, man. Sports Muru. Follow the sports Twitter. Sports Muru. Yeah. Good conversation makes for good content, man.
There you go. Boo-Wop said peace out.